last time on the wilds of Valandiir, the Crown Collectors, having served what they thought was the first month of a 2-month stint in the Slammer, the Mine of Cobb, for your mysteriously specific transgressions.
Yes.
You found out through meeting the self-proclaimed leader of the mine, a tall lion folk named Race, who kind of gave you guys the rundown on what's going on with the mine. Game recognized game. It looks like he's been imprisoned here too, but he sort of runs the place as like a orderly, I guess, or someone that the prison trusts to at least keep the order around here so that people don't kill each other. But he's kind of sick of the place as well as you are. And having been given the news as someone who sort of runs the place that everyone's contracts and sentences have been extended indefinitely as your encounter with an extra dimensional event seemed to sap the energy from a magical fane that it turns out the administration of Cobb is looking for. And the administration is not happy, as you all find. So you're put to work, and the 5 of you, I believe, or 6 of you, are sent down a shaft to kind of start some rough work to get the place habitable so you can start mining it, because it's all very jagged floors and natural caves. And you discover a dormant and residential creature, a large brown slimy worm that is able to coil around the stalactites above and squirm between them below, and is just kind of has harassed you and begun to try to eat a couple of you, and you battled, and that's where we're at. So let's have everybody go to the map. It looks as if it is the worm's turn. Can everybody see yourselves on the map, and can you move yourselves? I know that it's been a couple 2-3 weeks, but I don't know if we have the same issues on Roll20 if we come back to a map. It looks like Baranor can move.
I can move.
Okay. All right, it looks like everyone is probably good. Just so, let's have everybody ping your character so we all kind of can see where we all are at. Yep. And right here is Axton. Okay, so it is the worm's turn. It is considered gargantuan. It is 4x4. So it is probably 10 feet away from being able to grab Kravish, but Kravish is protected by something that has been harassing it, and it's remembering that. It's a worm, but it's not so stupid it doesn't know not to get hurt. So it's going to move towards the T-Rex and the monk and take 2... Sorry?
Does he have his footy fairies out?
Yeah. Can you see him?
No, I do not, actually. I do not.
Oh,
that aura's for my blind sight.
Okay. Yeah, it is, by the way, pitch black down here, so anyone without dark vision is blind.
Oh, is that middle part traversable?
Yes. It is.
I thought it was like a mound. I thought this was like a donut of space.
No, so the deal is, just so everyone is on the same page, the floor where it looks like there's water... Yeah, the floor where it looks like it's water is all rough, is all difficult terrain.
Oh.
The middle island is not, the outer edges are not.
I misunderstood.
This little island here of land doesn't count. It's all difficult terrain. The whole ring is difficult terrain. If your square touches it at all, you're in difficult terrain. So, it's going to take 2 swipes with its giant, like, worm-like ring of teeth and, these large tusks right at Maven, and 1 at the T-Rex. What is the AC of the T-Rex?
You gotta beat a 13.
Okay. The T-Rex gets a 27 on it. The monk gets a 28 on that.
Yeah.
So each of you are going to take... I'm going to I'll roll for damage online. I think that's how I was doing it. Okay, so Koza, your T-Rex takes a total of... Are you kidding me? Wow. 3 points of damage. You got some tough T-Rex hide. And Maven, you're going to take a little bit more. 7 points of slashing damage.
Gotcha.
Okay. I need both of you to make strength saves, please, as it looks like Baranor, you are next. What would you like to do?
Is it now up against the T-Rex and Maven, I'm guessing?
Yes, their squares are interacting, yeah.
Okay, cool. I will chuck a fucking...
Check a fucking.
Where's that thing? The soul knife at it.
Boom.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 does hit.
Okay. Alright, so that's 7 psychic damage, and because there's 2 people near it, next to it, I get sneak attack, which is
cool.
3d6. That's another thing I'm excited to play, is the new sneak attack mechanics.
Cool,
okay.
Cool.
Alright, so 7 to 19 total there. And then I'm going to bonus action throw the lesser soul knife at it.
Okay.
27 to hit.
27 does hit.
That's just 6 damage. So 25 psychic damage all total.
All right. So your kind of purpley pink energy knives careen across this battlefield, and 2 of them stick hard right under the worm's head. And you instantly see this gray, mottled, almost like liquid concrete, just pour out of the wound left by this knife as you hear this thing just retch in what could be considered a worm's pain. Not sure if they feel pain. Didn't like that, though, and it's going to turn its attention to you.
Psychic does not leave a weird.
Well, its brain... I really appreciate you letting me finish all that before correcting me, by the way.
Of course.
You're the best, man.
Of course. I mean, we could flavor
We'll say that it's taken some slashing damage. I'll say your knife hit a wound that was already there, and it just kind of fluttered it open.
Okay. All right.
How you like that?
I like it. Sorry.
It's good. You're good. Baranor, that is your turn, correct?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
All right. On your turn, you're gonna see this thing use its bonus action for slippery escape, and it's gonna burrow into the rock. Oh man, I love Roll20 zooming in and out. That really helps. It's gonna burrow underground. Neither you nor Maven are able to grab hold of it or perform any kind of damage as its tentacle-like tail slips into the earth, and it is unsurprisingly going to emerge from this hole right next to Baranor right there.
Also, by the way, it took 1 more point of damage from Hunter's Mark, which I keep forgetting it's on there.
Yeah. Well, it all adds up, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
I just went. Yeah. Little Hunter's Mark symbol.
Little Hunter's Mark symbol. And on the end of your turn and its little legendary action, it's going to take 1 swipe at you with its tusks.
Yay!
Not great. That's an 18.
That hits with my current...
Yeah.
Cutting words.
Cutting words. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a reroll?
No, it is when they make a damage roll or succeed. I can take a reaction to expend one of my bardic inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number rolled from the creature's roll.
Okay. So I got a 5. If you get a 6, it wipes it all out, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. And my bardic inspiration die is now a D10.
Cool.
Wait, from the roll, the attack roll,
Yeah.
or the damage roll?
I deduct it from the roll. I can deduct it from the attack roll or from the damage.
Okay, so you could change a hit into a miss.
I could.
Or damage into nothing.
Yeah.
Either one is effective.
I'm like, both of those things equal the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey!
Yeah. I'm going to say as it swipes at Baranor, Kravish, what do you shout at this worm that it's going to understand?
That is going to understand.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, well, Lord, with an attack like that, it's a miracle you can hit anything.
It doesn't understand you. It just squeaks at you enough where its swipe doesn't land.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Kravish, it is your turn. The creature just kind of teleported across the room.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to use some movement. I'm going to go 10, 20, 25. And then, what's our spell level cap right now? Do we know? We're having an inkling.
You guys, I would say, I'm not going to make you guys waste spell slots. That seems cruel at this point in the game. You kind of feel the level you're at, that you guys are really deep down underground, and you kind of feel a lot more powerful than you have in the past. So I'm going to say that all of you definitely have level 3 spells at your disposal.
Okay. So I am going to upcast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level. All it hears is just a discordant melody.
Yeah, a very sad song.
So it's a DC 16 Wisdom save.
Okay. And you'll be happy to know that I am using purple worm stats for this guy. Even though he's not a purple worm, he's a disgusting crap brown. You said wisdom, right?
That's correct.
Okay. That's not very wise, but that's a 15.
Okay, so he fails. So he takes 19 points of psychic damage
All right.
and must immediately use its reaction to move as far away from me as it can.
Okay. Right where you're at, did we determine that this does or does not provoke attacks of opportunity?
I don't know if
Because you've done this before. Yeah. I mean, he's going to move up right there, and that's going to be against the wall.
He's using his own will. He's not like he's being telekinetically shoved or anything like that.
Right.
He's moving
Right.
of his own volition.
Well, he was here, and he's now there. So I don't think he really ran past anybody anyway.
Oh, then Baron.
Anywho. Yeah. Well, he didn't run past him. He just ran along him.
Oh, so he didn't
Slithered.
He's so big he didn't leave his melee range.
Correct. But I'm going to say that he did scurry about 10 feet up the wall and cling to a hanging stalactite. So he's 10 feet in the air.
All
right.
For my bonus action, let's see. Is anybody looking hurt, bloodied? Everybody looking dead?
Axton has been injured.
Okay, well then I will go ahead and throw in a 2nd level healing word for Ashton.
Where is Koza? Koza's not on the map. Hey, Noah, are you able to put yourself on the map?
Big T-Rex.
Oh, yeah, but he's not on the turn order.
I'm not?
Okay. Nope.
Oh, I'm not.
My bad.
That's weird. I was wondering
That is
why
very
it's been
weird.
so long.
Wouldn't he have a 3?
Yeah, I went dead last anyway.
All right, that's fine. We'll add you right in.
Oh, he's on there. He's on the turn order, yeah.
He's just got to scroll down. He's at
I
the
know,
all the
I
way
just
at the
put him there.
bottom.
I just put him there.
Never mind.
Okay, there was definitely a 3 when we started, though.
Yeah, it
That's
didn't have
correct.
a picture with it, but
I must have got a ring
Yeah.
then.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so Krabish, it is still your turn, I believe.
Right, I want to throw a second level healing word to Axton.
Okay. What's your what are the point values there? 14. Ooh, nice. I got to put a little health bar on this guy. Sorry about that.
All right, and thus endeth my turn.
Thus endeth. Okay. It is Axton's turn. He has his pickaxe. He's going to take. He's trying. He's sick of this thing. He's going to take his action surge as well. So that's going to be 4 attacks from Axton. Let me just bring him up. There he is. And I don't think he has to move to it. Yes, he does. He needs to go right there. And he's going to back up Baranor. Actually, you know what? He's going to use all of his movement and be right next to Baranor. And he kind of puts himself between you and the worm, Baranor, and just takes this mighty swing with his pickaxe, which is right here. All right, that's 4. We're using his action surge. How do we do here? That's not right. Why does that say that? Anyway, what if I did this? Yeah, okay. I'm going to just use the halberd as his pickaxe. Okay, that's 1. 15 does not hit this thing. But a 26 will. That's 14 slashing. A 16 will not. And finally, he gets 2. Oh, he gets 1 that lands. Jeez, Axton rolled like shit. However, he's going to use a bonus action and drink a potion. And yeah, he's going to get 12 plus his con, which is high. So that is 14 points of healing back too. He is now full up, which is good. And that's his turn. He's going to stay there, though, right there with you, Baranor. And Maven, you're up, followed by Yuno.
Okie doke, artichoke. Well, I figured out if I use all my movement, I can get right there.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just gonna schwack him a few times.
Schwash.
22 to hit.
22 hits.
14 damage.
All right.
16 doesn't hit, right?
16 does not, no.
It's not, yeah. And then I'm going to spend a key point and make 3 more attacks.
All right.
13 doesn't hit. Does 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Okay, so
you feel like that's right. That's the sweet spot.
Okay. So 2 of the 3 hit. One was 15, and then one was 18. One was 19. So 12, and then 11. 11 plus 12 is 23. Plus 14 is
Got it.
30 something.
30 something.
30 something. I got it. I was chewing it away as you went.
30 something. And yep, that'll be my.
Can you guys see his health bar?
Nope.
No.
No.
You can now, though.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, chewed it way down. It was up in this area.
Okie dokie.
So, wow.
Yep, that's my turn.
Wow.
Well, on your turn, you're going to hear this thing screech, and I don't know if I'll be able to do a decent sound because I think it'll get blown out, but it just kind of screeches into the air, and you hear that rumbling kind of reverberate, and you see a couple of stalactites fall, and 2 smaller versions of this creature pop out of each of these holes behind you.
Oh.
One there and one up there. They're going to use all of their movement One's going to move right up next to Yuno, and one is going to move in real fast towards Kravish, and they're just going to take one attack at both of you. If there's anything anybody wants to do in reaction, I'm going to go ahead and roll attacks on these guys. The one against Yuno is a 17. Yep, deflects it immediately. The one against Kravish is not great. That's a 10. So they both miss you.
Yep.
And with that, and those creatures now on the field, Yuno, it is your turn.
Okay. I am just going to blast this dude right in the face with a firebolt.
Okay.
Nice, simple, reliable.
Yep. And they have a different kind of look to them a little bit. Like their flesh is sort of translucent, and there's just like a tan or flesh-colored kind of carapace on the top. But you can see all of this thing's organs through its skin on the bottom. Its legs are real kind of, new and squirmy, because these things do have little rows of legs. So what did you get on your firebolt?
18 to hit,
Yep, that hits for sure.
and then 16 points of fire damage.
16 points. All right. Yeah, that lit it up. It didn't like that one bit. It's still up.
And then I'm going to just telekinetically shove it 5 feet.
Okay. It does not have a very strong strength. Let me see something. It's got pretty decent strength, though. It is a medium creature. Yeah, that's a 20. That's a dirty 20.
It goes nowhere.
Yeah. It's kind of like coiled, where it looks like some of it's sort of like wrapped around a rock, and it looks like it's holding that to anchor it while it strikes at you. Koza, the T-Rex, finally gets to go.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I can't really do much.
Can't hear you, bud.
Can't?
No.
Barrett,
Can
can hear.
anybody else hear him?
He's very low.
Yeah, you're very low, bud.
Sounds like the mic is real far away from face.
Yeah. Maybe just, I don't know, disconnect and reconnect. I don't know.
Yeah, let me try that. Hang on.
That might work.
Like he's talking.
And there
to
he
his,
goes. He's dead. Oh no.
talking to his mic from like
Yeah, how's
across
that?
the room.
I think that's better.
Still pretty low though.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just yell real loud.
T-Rex can't make any ranged attacks, so I think I'm going to pop out of my wild shape.
Okay. Oh man. You're gonna make me change his image again.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Actually, wait. What's my speed? Oh, my speed's 50 feet. I'm fine. Yeah, I'll just. How far away is that? Because
Are you popping out of your shape or no?
No, because.
Oh, okay.
If it'll let me. Yeah, okay, I can get over there. So I'm just gonna move to right here. And
Right
chomp
there.
it. Plus 10 to hit. Ooh, perfect. So that's a 29 to hit. And then
29 definitely hits.
4d12 plus 7.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Alright, so that's 32.
Okay. Koza, how do you want to do this?
Perfect.
Hey.
Yay!
I want my
How does the
jaws
T-Rex want to do this?
right around its neck, and then like
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3 style, I want to just like drag it down and twist its neck.
Yeah. It's pretty horrific. This thing kind of just its flesh just sort of collapses under your very powerful jaws, and your teeth just sort of shreds its neck, spilling this gray fluid all over the room around you. Axton, Maven, and Baranor, you are now covered in this gray ichor that just, it's like Elmer's glue. It just sort of drips real slow, and it's very gooey and sticky. And yeah, Koza, you just sort of rip this thing's neck as you shred downward and just sort of topple it down onto the ground around you, and immobilizes it.
I'm gonna throw it down, plant my foot on top.
Yeah. All right, so it is immobilized. Is there anything you want to do on your turn, Koza?
Another attack on it.
I still can't hear you really well at all.
Yeah.
Because I've got your volume jacked all the way up.
Yeah. Oh, I said, if you yell, we can hear you. I think you should do it.
Okay, well, in that case, I still
See, now that sounds way better.
Still sounds the
Whatever.
same to us, though.
I've got my mic like right next to my mouth.
You should put it in your mouth.
It sounds.
Crank the
It,
volume to
it
11.
sounds like you're dictating the inner thoughts of the T-Rex.
Yeah. He probably is.
Like background thought.
Yeah.
No, I still get another tail attack, so I'm gonna just.
All right. You got to move to something that's threatening you, though. We don't have a tail that long.
Thought he wanted to attack the thing that's down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bleeding out. Like, it's it's on the
What's
ground.
that?
It's not moving. You have part of it in your mouth, and it doesn't taste very good at all. You actually feel very sick right now. But it's not moving. You done made it not move no more.
I think that'll end my turn.
Yeah. You're on your computer, right? Have you ever connected your earbuds to your phone and tried to connect that way?
I don't have my earbuds on me.
Oh. Okay.
It might be
Because
my
you're,
internet.
like they said, you're ridiculously quiet. It's hard to really hear what you're saying. So anyway,
I'm gonna
go ahead and make your tail attack on the corpse, I suppose.
Well, if it's dead, I'm not gonna.
Okay. Your T-Rex form discerns it is deceased.
He's gonna do the Jurassic Park, roar as the sign falls down around.
Yeah, except it's just like gooey, slimy ichor on the walls. All right, what you doing next? Are you done? Are you ending your turn?
I assume he said something.
I do too.
I'm messing with my.
No way. I mean, I can hear what you're saying, but it's like it sounds like you're too far from your mic.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like it's across the room from you.
It really
Yeah.
does sound like you were like vaguely in the room with that.
I think because he's in a room with somebody, I think, and he doesn't want to be too loud.
Yeah.
I'm speaking at a normal volume.
Yeah.
We can hear that you are, but we can't.
We can hear that you want to.
Anything.
Yeah.
I think it requires that you shout really loud and wake up everybody in the house.
Right next to my face.
That's a little better. Do that. Keep it right there. So, your T-Rex has an attack. Do you have any movement? I don't think you do. Do you?
I don't have any movement.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to just move along. It is the wormy's turn. This wormy right here is going to bite at Mr. Kravish. And that's a natural 20. Do you want to mess with it?
Yeah, silvery barb.
Damn it. Okay. I'll roll again. Come on. It's jumping out of my little skull dice thing. That's a natural 19 with it's a 24.
Yeah, but it's not.
Wow.
Nat 20.
That's right. That's true. That's true. All right.
Perfect.
It's going to bite at you for... Oh, are you kidding me?
Nice.
That's going to be 5.
5.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Five
Feels really
points from this
hard.
little tiny worm. I imagine that he's got little baby teeth on like a ring around his head, and 4 of them just broke off in Kravish. And now he's gonna gum you. Okay, so this one here is going to attack again. It didn't like biting into your little shield, so that's an unnatural 20 against you.
Just hits.
Okay. It ain't going to be for a lot. It is 2 points of slashing damage as it comes for you. And that is going to end the worm's turn. Baranor, you are next with Kravish on deck.
Terrain. I will bonus action shift my hunter's mark to this one.
All right. Let me just fix that for you. There you go.
I think that's in range. Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of this guy. Although his corpse is still there.
And then I will chuck a soul knife at it.
All right.
Hey.
Ooh. Nice.
All right, we take the first one.
Owie.
Yeah. It's getting stabbed all sorts of places in its mind. Imagine for a worm, as simple as a worm is, I imagine your soul knife is just like showing it geometric shapes and its mind is just exploding.
Okay, so if I'm if I'm reading this correctly, the 5 will be doubled.
The 5. Yeah. Okay. I'll take the first one and double that. That's how.
Okay.
I think that's how I've always done that.
Right. So it'll be 14 because it's the 5 doubled and then plus the modifier.
Yeah. Instead of 1 knife, you threw 2.
Yes. So 14 hunter's mark and sneak attack. Let me do both of those at the same time so I don't forget them. Same die, anyways. Oh, another 16. So that's 30 points of damage.
30 points? How do you want to do this?
I just want to be like, I got this, and just chuck it at him. Chuck it like right over his shoulder at the worm that's gumming his shoulder.
Yeah, it's it kind of it definitely just like recoils, like it's something occurs to this worm and it's too much for it to take. There's no like light or explosions or sparks or anything. You just see like the life leave its muscles and it just topples to the ground at Yuno's feet.
I got you. And that's my turn.
All right, Kravish.
All right. As far as a weapon, I really don't. Have I got like a pickaxe or something?
Yeah, I think you do have a pickaxe. You sadly do not have your sword.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah, makes me sad too.
So I guess I could just use a miner's pick. Or a warp
Uh-huh. You're proficient in it because it's just a simple tool and everyone is proficient in this stuff. But you can add your damage mods and all that to it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I will go ahead then and what? All right. We'll go ahead and make an attack.
All right.
I may have to smite him when I do it, but if
The holy pickaxe.
mm-hmm. That is great. Joke. All right.
Ooh, nice.
So
That hits.
is second level divine smite. So that's 12 points of smiting damage.
Righto. You
Combined-
bury your pickaxe in this
24.
thing's flesh. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you bury your pickaxe in this thing's flesh. Your pickaxe, I'm going to say just for flavor, your pickaxe is kind of stuck. But it seemed incredibly easy for you to sink your pickaxe's spike into this thing's flesh. It just gave way really easily.
Damn. Bitch.
It is not dead, unfortunately, but yeah, you're elbow deep in it, as you could say.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was my action, and I only settled for
Aw.
this action. I'm not going to do anything for a bonus action right now. I will go ahead and end my turn.
All right. Axton is going to take 2 swings with his pickaxe. Let me see. Do I have to move him? I can't see him because his character sheet is up. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to move him. You know what he's gonna do? Because it's cool. He's gonna move around his T-Rex friend. Or no, you know what? He's gonna duck under the T-Rex's legs, sliding on his knees while he tosses his pickaxe, and it tumbles through the air end over end at the last baby worm. So his his pickaxe flings through the air for a 27, and it slashes right into this thing's head, and the pickaxe just sort of drops it. The worm falls at the gravity that the axe is moving downward, and just instantly stops moving.
I look over in the direction of Ashton, and I say, "Show off."
He just kind of nods, like, "Yes, I agree." The cave is now relatively quiet. You do hear a forever high, infinitely high above you, dripping of water that sort of careens down the walls and such.
Yeah. Roughly
Pretty good.
Can the dark vision folks see it? See the title? Oh,
Hold on.
Dark vision. Dark vision 60 feet.
Right. Can you see the ceiling?
No, you cannot.
Okay. So
You guys descended down here. You guys descended down here on like a rope.
Okay.
I'll say that you remember, because I think we started out. You guys were just here, so you remember. You guys did lower yourselves down, and it was roughly 80, 90 feet. It was very high up.
Oh, okay.
It was very, very high up.
Why are we down here?
You do have a way out. You were sent here to use your tools to sort of pre-flatten the ground or make it traversable so people could come down here and work. Because right now, everywhere is difficult terrain pretty much, and there's like standing water, and it's
All right. Well, I guess we get the
official statement.
Yeah, and you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see the walls have like gouge marks where some work has been done maybe in the past. It's not finished nearly at all yet, and you're not going to finish that today. You're just here to break the rocks. That's it.
Anybody get the strange feeling we were set up?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any, besides the holes in the ground, are there any exits to this chamber? Any other tunnels?
Go ahead and you want to make perception or investigation?
I'm going to say a perception check.
Can you see? Who can't see, by the way? I think Axton is out.
Well, I have a question. Since I've updated my character, has my dark vision kicked in?
I'm going to say that Kravish, while you've been fighting this kind of this wormy creature, you have noticed since your encounter with the dimensional sort of dimensional pancakes, I guess we could call them. Your last encounter with this these portals to other realms that just appeared out of this room, that for some reason, after being in that close proximity, you do have the ability to see in the dark. You didn't notice it before because you figured there was like some kind of very faint light source, because it's not very detail oriented. It's just kind of black and white and staticky and fuzzy. Mm-hmm. It's very CCTV.
Right.
But yeah, now as you stand here in the quiet of this dank cave, you realize that you probably will have a lot easier time kind of working as you should be. So that's kind of a neat thing that's true.
Okay. Hey, look, Mom, I can see in the dark.
Yeah.
22.
22. So, as this cavern quiets around you, Baranor, you kind of, can you see? I think I asked you that. You can see now, right? Because of your soul knife?
What?
Can you see?
Half elves have dark vision, yes.
Oh, okay. Do they really? I thought they didn't.
No, they do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, as you're just sort of pawing around the walls with your hands, because you can see, but you're just kind of like looking for like any kind of like hidden tunnel or small crawl space, and moving your way towards the back of this room, you do see this hole right next to where Yuno was during the battle, where there is now a dead worm, and you can say the tunnel goes down about 8 feet, and it's about 2 feet wide.
Okay. But is that the only tunnel leading out of here?
Nope. As you are walking around, I can get rid of all this rolling stuff. As you're walking around on the map where Koza is, how long does polymorph last? An hour?
So you're saying the
Unless
holes.
you drop concentration.
Unless you drop it. Yeah, okay. So those holes do go down about 8 feet before they disappear behind a turn. I'm going to say, unfortunately, this one up here, the T-Rex was stomping around it. It sort of collapsed about 3 feet down. So it's not really a tunnel anymore as it is just like a hole.
But besides those holes, there's no other entrance.
There is just up.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
What equipment?
There's just up.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have... No, you're good. What equipment that you have is mining...
What equipment do we have? Yeah.
Yeah, you all have mining tools, which includes a hammer or a pickaxe or a shovel or something. It's up to... I left it up to you guys. They all have melee qualities, which is why you're able to fight with your pickaxe. You also have, each of you, 50 feet of rope, not counting the 100 feet that are tied to the upper level where you came from. You also have 3 or 4 rations. You have a couple of leather pouches that you've sort of over the last month negotiated around the place for, so you can keep things. Some of you have a couple of your little crystals with you, as maybe you pass somebody and you want to do a little transaction, you've got some currency. That's kind of it. You have a water skin, and you don't have any other weapons with you. You don't have your equipment. You don't have your magic items. That's kind of it.
Gotcha.
And I think I allowed you were able to get a hold of some pages of a spell book. And that's why you're able to kind of cast a few spells and things like that. Cantrips, you don't need a spell book for that. It's pretty simple stuff.
Posa already did us the favor of removing that giant worm's head from the rest of its body, correct?
Oh yeah. It's not decapitated. He just ripped a huge section out of the front of it under its head, and it just sort of toppled to the ground.
Gotcha. I want to take that creature's head back with us.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check. Don't worry, the DC is super low.
Huge?
Huh?
It's gargantuan.
The whole creature is gargantuan.
Right,
yeah.
The head has to be big too, though.
I'll say this. The head of this creature is about 4 feet across, and it sort of flattens a little bit because it's a worm and they don't have a lot of substance to them. But the little guys, their head is about the size of a pumpkin. But yeah, if you give me a medicine check, Kravish, we'll see how clean your cut is for decapitating this giant worm.
10.
10? Good enough. It's not hard to draw a blade across like Jello. And as you do so, it kind of it was sort of laying uphill. Its head just sort of like in a flat way rolls, kind of like a bag filled with slime. Just kind of rolls down until it reaches, the water and sort of submerges a little.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we're still talking about the thing's head is probably still about a half ton.
Yeah, I'm gonna say most of the worm here. I'll since you're super curious about it, I'll put it back. It's dead though. Yeah. So like I said, its head is pretty big. Its head's like 4 or 5 feet across, but it is now separated from its body. Yes.
Yeah.
What is he hitting? Is that Jello with the
Jello.
tennis racket? Yeah. It's like that. Although he's not doing it to that effect. He's just sliding a blade through it. And it's actually starting to sort of break down. You notice that there are these little patchy holes on its translucent underside of its skin that start to sort of separate, and some of its bits of its organs spill out, and it's a very unpleasant creature to be standing next to.
Okay. So that well, at least we can remove the tusks.
Yes,
Now,
I will say.
I want something to walk back into the room in full view and go, yeah, we found something, motherfuckers. But you already
Yeah. Anybody that wants to make a medicine check, or some other kind of roll for butchering these creatures, I'll have Axton do it too. He's got cooking utensils or proficiency or something.
No.
I think his medicine. Although he started out as a fighter.
Yeah, but he had like some weird.
Oh no, yeah, he's up there. There we go. Yeah, 28 medicine. Okay. Anybody else? 10 from your previous is not going to translate over your Kavish. It's a different action.
Okay.
You can roll it again. And anybody else can that wishes. 15 is better. So yeah, it has 3. Again, this is a very big creature, Karish. So it has these large tusks that are about 6-7 feet tall or long.
Mm-hmm.
You separate them from the ringed maw, which seems like the only really solid part of this thing's body. However, Axton is able to free up the 3 that belong to both of these. So you do have 6 tusks, about maybe 5-6 inches long. They're really they feel like they're made of like white quartz crystal. They're just very, very hard and sharp. So I'll say you each of you have a dagger at your disposal if you wish, in the form of this tusk.
So we can split them up amongst each of us and
Sure.
have a dagger.
Sure. If you wish, just, if you want to note it on your sheet, worm tooth. Tooth of Shai-Halud.
Give it the stats of a dagger.
Yeah, definitely. It's a Chris knife.
Yeah.
I'm speaking as Barry. Is that from Dune? All right. The rest of your day is pretty uneventful, as all of you you don't really put your back into it. You're a little beat up from, I'm going to say, Cozy, your T-Rex form drops at some point during the day. It sucks down here. You're really not happy, toiling away in this dank, wet, rough cave. But you managed to, flatten a couple stalactites and maybe force some rubble down into the water to sort of block it up, and as you can hear movement and people high above you shouting around, quitting time, and
we said that we took a short rest after that fight.
You can take 3 because you guys kind of got down here, and that's when this all started.
Yeah.
So you got your whole day ahead of you. So if you guys want to take 3 short rests, That's fine with me. You can go ahead and roll your beautiful bean footage.
All right. Well, I do
Yeah.
no longer have Song of Rest. That got taken away.
Aw.
However, it got replaced with Encouraging Song.
Cool. What does that mean?
As we finish a short or long rest, you can play a song on a musical instrument with which you have proficiency. And I'm proficient in drum.
Yeah.
And I can give heroic inspiration to allies who hear the song. The number of allies you can affect equals my proficiency bonus. So I
Cool.
can give up to 4 allies heroic inspiration.
Okay.
Cool.
So I will do that, and I will grant heroic inspiration to Maven, to Baranor, to Yuno, and to Koza.
All right.
It doesn't help me none, but it helps all of you. And that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Axton kind of feels snubbed. No, but as you kind of you take a minute after this battle to sort of reorient yourselves. You guys got all, wiping the goo off of you, washing yourselves off in the, I would say cave water's probably clean. It's probably not
cleaner than
festering. Yeah. So you're able to kind of clean yourselves off. Yeah. Oh yeah. It does have kind of like a bleachy kind of feel to it on the skin, but you wash yourselves off, and as you do, you can hear Pravish kind of clapping his hands a little bit, and all of a sudden it sort of moves into a melody, and as he's moving along the cave walls, he's kind of knocking with his knuckle against the cave walls, the stones, and taps out this kind of work song that you all kind of get into, and you all sort of fill in the blanks where the notes are lacking. Throughout music you've heard yourself, and it helps motivate everybody. So personally by everybody that this is definitely kind of an effort that the team is engaged with, and not a lot more needs to be said about how you guys are like, okay, this is the work they're telling us to do. They're telling us it's not going to be, there's no end in sight, and you're all kind of found to be sort of formulating something in your mind that you want to do to contribute to making all of this better in some way. Some of you think of escape. Some of you think of just rising up and destroying the evil forces with, the prisoners by your side. And there Kravish goes, just humming along a little tune as he kind of clicks along the wall with his knuckles. And your day comes to an end as you hear the proverbial steam whistle above you. And your joints ache, and you feel your lungs filled with dust. So you're looking forward to somewhat fresh air as you climb up the rope. I'm not going to make you roll for it. It seems bad luck, but
we bundled up the tusks.
Yeah.
Wardwood.
Yes, I will say that you want to bring up the tusks. Just give me a dex, some kind of dex or strength kind of roll here. And you can do it at advantage because everybody can help.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and make it.
Because they're big. The ones that don't fit in your pocket, they're big.
So I will take a 21.
21. Okay.
So I'm able to balance the weight and kind of dance my way up the ascending rope while angling this thing behind.
Yeah, you're kind of using your skill and your liveness to sort of bounce off the walls where you're pinning rope that Axton is slowly pulling up at the top of the hole, pulling them up. And as you kind of tag them to different parts of the sort of the tunnel, the wall on its way up, to make sure that if it were to fall, it would only fall at this point by like 3 feet, stuff like that. As Axton just, and with help from the others too, Koza, he's kind of tug-of-warring it and pulling it up. So you eventually get these items to the top of the hole. They're pretty heavy. There are members of your party that don't have a problem with like pulling things, but they're pretty heavy. They weigh about a total of maybe like 80, 90 pounds. They're pretty heavy for what they are. And just kind of moving along the tunnel that led here. It's not long until you get to like kind of like a hub where there's a few tunnels that go in different directions, as well as the main hub out of here. And that's when you come to a couple of the guards. These two are not like heavily armored. It looks like they've got maybe like boiled leather around their shoulders and torsos and on their hands and greaves and things, like a skirt. But they're both carrying big pikes, and they just kind of look over it at you all and are like, "What you got there?"
Souvenirs.
Right, and what do you think you're doing with them?
Souveniring.
And they just kind of look at each other, and they just kind of walk over to you, and they just kind of give them, like, they stop you. Are you going to let them stop you?
Yeah, but I look like I'm stopped because I want to, and not because they're making me.
Right. Sure. I'll give that to you. They kind of look over your inventory and just kind of look at you, and you're all kind of you're washed, but your clothes have seen better days. There's stains from these worms on you that aren't quite washing out with just water, and they just kind of look you up and down. They're like, the guard that's with the one that talked to you, he just kind of walks up, and he's a little shorter. His eyes are a little kinder. He just kind of looks at you all, and he's like, "Wow, y'all been through it, eh?"
Yeah, we had the day.
And you see him look at his taller friend, and he's like, "Looks like they found something down there." And the taller one just sort of straightens up and is like, "Is that so?"
We just look, it's like I've got like 3 polearm-sized crystal tusks hanging off my back. Like,
yeah,
looks like it.
And do you want to tell me what it was? And you see him just sort of call. He just sort of looks at his partner, and his partner looks at you, and he's like, "Did that come from a creature down there? Or what? Or did you just fashion giant crystal spears like that?" Damn. You say nothing. Are you guys mad at me?
Sums it up right there.
Are you guys mad at me, or are you mad at the characters? I'm getting the silent treatment.
No. This is the character.
I guguess I gotta move you to somebody that you like. If I want to role play, I gotta put you before someone you like.
Yeah, no. I just, like, we've had a day, and I have no time for idiocy right now.
Okay, well, they're not letting you leave with these large objects. They are going to want to take control of them and feed them to the wherever people collect these, things that are mined for the administration. And so I just need to know if you're going to let them, or if we're going to have to go through this too.
No, I'm going to say I would like to go turn them in.
Okay, they're going to direct you to someone that you've seen in Race's office. He's kind of like a short, squat goblin with sort of big, shocking poof of black hair on top of his head. You never caught his name. They're going to tell you his name is Gilroy, and that he works in the same area that Race does, and he's kind of in charge of interesting objects that are found in the mine.
Interesting objects. Okay.
Yep. And he's going to tell you that they're not prepared to move it yet, but if you want to wait for like 20 minutes while they exchange some communication around the mine about, because this is you're getting the feeling from all of them with your passive insight. This is not something anybody has really seen much of or at all. You know, these crystalline teeth. Did you bring, I'll let you retro it. Did you bring any other parts of these creatures with you or no?
Well,
or is it just teeth?
Did they have any eyeballs?
They did not.
No eyeballs. All we had were teeth, and the head was about the size of a Land Rover.
Yeah, the little ones' heads were.
The rest of the body was like deteriorating.
They were sort of breaking down a little bit, almost like the dry air.
Maybe we tried to take one of their heads.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You have a. Did you take the teeth out first?
Yes.
Okay. Ferocious worms with no teeth, although they do have little ones.
Show you their teeth.
Yeah. So after about 20 minutes, you are escorted to an upper level of the mine. Not quite the surface cave that you can get elevated out. From there, this is a little deeper than that, but it's in the upper areas where you were the other day when you met with the leader here, Race. And you walk by his office. It's, guarded by a couple of heavy guards, and just to the side of it, you can see a large hollow dug into the side of the rock face, where there are stacks and stacks of kind of granite blocks. That sort of, it looks like it's in a staging area. There's also a number of benches and desks where there are people scrutinizing raw ores, sparkling ores of different colors. There's a kind of guards walking around, keeping an eye on things, and they kind of drop you off at this like foreman's office. It's up on stilts, and it has kind of a rickety sort of rope bridge like entrance up to the top of this platform where it is. And you see kind of a couple of people sort of moving up and down this rope bridge. Some of them carrying papers, and one of them looks kind of annoyed. And that's where the guard just kind of gives you a nod. They drop the crystal teeth on the ground. The large ones looks like they put them next to another pile of interesting looking rocks, and they just sort of FO. Leave you to it.
Okay, so the guards left us, and we're here in the office.
You're just before it. There, like I said, it's like a big, huge hollow of like cargo storage and staging, and there's this like elevated kind of shack or hut with this little rope bridge that leads up to it. And you just saw somebody go in, and you watched somebody come down the rope bridge, muttering something to himself, kind of beating his fist in the air a little.
Okay, but the guards, they said, "Okay, have at it," and left.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of people around too. There's prisoners and guards just sort of milling about and inspecting items and hauling away cargo, and there's like a caravan of humans and halflings just sort of pulling carts with crates and mine carts and things along. It's a very busy place.
Okay. So the guy coming down the rope bridge, we'll just stand there at the foot of the bridge, and I'm going to unbundle them, and I'm going to hold one, and Koza is going to hold one. Koza is going to hold one, and Aston will hold one.
He just kind of walks right by you. He's what looks like a kind of an average height half elf. He has a long gray beard. He has a headband. It looks like he's pretty sweaty. He's got kind of a big dwarf-like nose, and he just kind of looks at you all and is like, "Nice rocks," and keeps walking.
Yeah, we've been told to turn these in. Where do we go?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, and he keeps walking.
Much obliged.
He has no time for you and doesn't know what to tell you.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just walk up to the rope bridge to the big hut.
Yeah, it's only about 15 foot of kind of, it's not, it's like climbing, walking, it's like an inclined thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to the top and you look in and there are rows and rows of books. And there are what looks like these tables with small stones, and there's kind of like lenses and bracketry and brass brackets that kind of hold these lenses in place. And it looks like there's candlelight that's being refocused on these little tiny piles of rocks. Some of them are very, very gem-like. You also see a couple of scrolls that sort of are on the back of this large desk that are open with little piles of like powder, like gray powder. And at that desk is where you see this little guy. Hold on, I gotta get back there. Just kind of, he's got a big shock of black hair on top of his head, but he's kind of dressed in these like traveler's clothes, and they're all dusty, of course. He has what looks like a pen quill tucked into the back, kind of on the creak of his left ear, and he kind of pulls it down and starts scribbling on this parchment, and kind of he dabs his little fingernailed fingers on this pile of concrete powder, and he dabs it and he kind of rubs it between his fingers, and that's when he looks up and he says, "Yes, what do you want?"
Oh, that list is too long to mention here, but for the immediate needs, we were instructed by Mr. and Miss Congeniality down there to check in these strange rocks that we found while mining.
Uh-huh. All right. Where are they now? Are they down there?
No. The rocks, they're right here.
All right. And he kind of like waddles, and he's about maybe 2.5 feet tall. So, Kravish, you're real worried you're going to step on him as you kind of back up and give him a little room. Mm-hmm. He kind of waddles along. He's got kind of a cane, and he pulls from what looks like a shoulder pouch, almost like a half backpack behind him. He pulls from back there just this lens that he just sort of puts in the crick of his eye like a monocle. And he's gonna walk outside past all of you. He literally pays none of you any mind. And he waddles past you down the rope bridge. He's going to inspect these crystal teeth of yours. And so I'm going to need a persuasion check from Kravish, please. Oh boy.
16.
Yeah, you beat him hard. He got a very low number. So he's just going to kind of run his pointy fingernailed hand with these long spindly little fingers along these things, and he's going to rest his sort of palm down at the end where they were connected to the worm. He's going to kind of feel around because they're not quite crystal all the way down. It seems like at a certain point when these grow, they start out as kind of like a chitinous toothy enamel, and then it starts to crystallize and become a little clearer, a little less opaque as it goes down with little jagged facet like cuts along it. And he just kind of gives it a look-see, and he looks up at you and he's like, "Worm?"
Big worm.
Big worm. Well, and you all guessing you took it down then, seeing as you're still standing.
That is a correct assumption, sir.
Where'd you find this one?
Where the guards chucked us out to flatten the rocks.
Flatten the rock. You have to be a little more specific there, buddy.
Okay. So I'll just relay the relative location where we were.
They threw you down the well in the new wing, didn't they?
Yep.
Well, it's good to see that you had some company down there. Might have been some time before you had any. and he's just going to kind of like kick it with his foot. And he's just going to kind of give you these sympathetic eyes. He's like, tell you the truth, not much we can do with it. It's not real crystal, so it's not what you can do things that you could do with crystal. It's kind of a waxy, I don't know, material that it imitates it. Some would say plastic. But, well, I'm glad you guys made it out of there all right. I'll put in the word that you found these worms down there, and we'll add it to the list of places that these disgusting creatures have been popping up.
Oh, so that's not the only place they hang out?
Oh, no. It looks like the mine is surrounded on one side by about a third, and little incursions of worms every now and then at those kind of outward areas of the mine. Sometimes they take off with some of our workers. Most times they fight them off, but never seen one this big. Must have been a mama.
Yeah, may have been.
Well, it's a good thing you did, so I'll grant you a favor. Is there anything you, want that maybe I can help you with?
No. Hold, please. So we're going to huddle up here.
Okay. You guys literally turn around and bend down and...
Yeah. Okay, guys.
What do we need? I don't have any idea. Anybody want anything in particular?
No, I don't know.
Axton says steaks.
Steaks would be nice.
I don't eat steak.
Wait a minute.
Fresh
Are you referring
vegetable.
to steak as in like sirloin, or are you referring to steak as in like charred to stab
They kill
people?
vampires.
Yes.
I think that they're talking about food.
Yeah.
Yeah, Axton kind of looks around the room. And he goes, I meant food, but the stabby weapon sounds like a good idea too.
Okay. All right. Well, we already got folks from the Thieves Guild trying and rationing us out food too. But hey, if he can get us premium cuts, relatively speaking, then let's do it. All right.
All right.
So, re-break huddle.
Okay. It's very ceremonial.
And break.
Our hands in the middle.
Before you start, he just kind of interrupts you. He's like, y'all know each other or something?
Maybe.
Oh, never met these people in my life.
That felt very natural.
Yeah. We're on the same Little League team.
Yeah, so the goblin's kind of tapping his foot. He looks like he's being impatient.
Right.
He didn't expect you to stop and chat for a moment.
Yep. We want some good food and some more durable clothes.
Well, I can certainly hook you up with some meat tonight. I think you've earned that. I'll even throw in some good meat. As far as more durable clothes, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. Something that may be able to put up, if we're going to be running into these things on the regular, something that could actually put up with a tangle or two with them.
You hear a deep voice. Now, you guys are all fully in the office at this point, talking to him. And actually, no, you guys are outside. So, from behind whoever is in the back, which I'm guessing is probably like Axton and maybe Koza, you hear this deep, familiar, booming voice. How about the freedom? You turn around and you see the imposing, tall frame with this tan fur and blazing red mane of this lion folk. You see Reese. He's behind you.
That
Arms
sounds
folded.
good. That sounds great, too.
And he just kind of walks up and inspects these 7-8 foot long crystal teeth that you brought in, and he goes, "What do you think, Gilroy? You think the creatures here found the mama of them worms, or what?" "Well, it's certainly possible," and Race is just going to kind of have you go over what you found down there, and with perhaps a little more detail. What'd you say?
I said its head was about the size of 2 ox carts.
Yeah, and he's gonna kind of go through what you saw and things like that, and how many there were, and he's gonna kind of ruffle his mane a little and kind of rub his mustache like mouth with his fingers and kind of look at the teeth and say, "When I was a young lad living in Cobb, well, we saw our share of these worms on topside, but nothing like this. And I tell you what, it seems like ever since that magical fane got destroyed, I'm catching a fresh report of these every day."
So do we think that magical thing was keeping them in check or keeping them away?
Well, definitely not intentionally. I don't remember really hearing much about these worms except for the really deep, dark reaches of the mine. As far away from civilization as possible is where they showed up, but now they're getting more brazen. At least over the last couple days.
Well, hopefully losing that big one will help put a dent into some of it.
Well, I tell you, the worm aside, that's not really why I'm here.
All right.
And you see him kind of look over your shoulder, and the goblin, he just kind of looks at all of you, and he looks at Race, and he just kind of shrugs and turns around and kind of mutters a little something to himself, like, I'm only sitting here to, take care of these damn cargo prisoners taking my attention away. God, geez, damn. And you see him just kind of piss and moan as he climbs up the rope ladder, and Race is going to gesture for you to follow him.
All right.
It's a short jaunt over to his office. He leads you inside. The guards, I'm going to say definitely Axton and those that are pretty perceptive naturally. You notice that these 2 guards, they don't have the same, they don't have the same attitude that most other guards. Yeah, hold on a second. I think Baranor's right. Y'all are posted in my session. It's okay. I'll delete all of it. It's not that much. Yeah, you guys are good. No worries.
Wrong session. Wrong area.
Anyway, yeah, he's going to lead you into his office, and these guards don't seem to kind of give you the same, I don't know, heebie-jeebies, I guess, or the same feeling of authority. They definitely have kind of like, a friendlier, warmer tone to their eyes as they look at you. They kind of give you like subtle little nods of respect. Not sure what that means or what it's for. And they do follow you in and then shut the door, and they just kind of post up at the entrance, but he leads you further in, around like an antechamber where there's like, his desks and books and things, into his back office. And as you do, he kind of touches this crystal ball on the wall. And as he does, he kind of turns it slightly with his like lion hands. And as he does, it like fills with this yellow light that kind of beams around the room. And he kind of looks around a little bit, and that yellow light starts to dissipate slightly. And he's going to, gesture you all to sit. There's a couple of benches before his large desk. And as he does, he's going to just sort of lean on his chair I'm just gonna be straight with you. This here is a zone of truth. Everybody all right with that?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Axton's gonna nod as well. Goza, I'm guessing you agree as well.
Somewhere off in the distance.
Yeah, somewhere off in the distance, Koza is shouting through a megaphone backwards.
Yeah.
Are you like unable to talk now? Is that where we're at? Because I'm not getting anything from Koza, and I haven't for the past like half hour.
I heard coarse, but it was way low.
Alright,
Yeah.
so it might be my headphones, because...
Yeah, it might be.
Jesus.
Here, I tell you what. I'm gonna go AFK for like a minute, and solve this real fast. If you guys want to, like, I don't know, talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Well, that's been fun.
Gross.
It's like, dude, I really don't want any more shit today.
Literally, like, we just get sprayed in the blood of a terrible worm, and now you want to talk to me about what I very obviously have on my person?
You run into some kind of creature? No, idiot. We found it at the spelling bee.
It's like, you have got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. This can't be real life.
You're smelly as you are stupid.
Write that one down.
So you're just like, please, let's not start another fight because of stubbornness.
And that's you talking.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm ready.
like I said,
I'm ready.
I didn't start the fight.
I'm ready to beat people up. It's fine.
Okay. I don't know if we're gonna solve it, so Koza might be a silent partner. I might just punish him by speaking for him as much as possible.
Oh no!
I might just...
What'd you say?
I said I might just need to get new headphones.
Yes, but for today,
Definitely
let's deal with it for today.
Okay.
You should definitely talk like that the rest of the session. We'll all shut up.
Just like super enunciate my words.
Race he kind of paces back and forth behind his chair, and you see him get real kind of serious in the shoulders as he turns around and looks at all of you. Well, I know we spoke a few days ago about doing what must be done to change things here. I know that none of us want to spend an eternity underground. Well, what I know is this. What they were looking for was sort of, in a way, weakened when you guys destroyed that portal thing. It seemed like whatever it was, well, it was tied to the magical Thane, perhaps using it for energy, and now that it's gone, that energy is also gone, but there's still kind of a little shred to it. Well, yesterday, the sheriff, he found a way to keep them open, at least a little. It requires sacrifice. All I know is this. 10 prisoners went into that room that y'all found it in. Nobody came out. This I cannot abide.
In our experience, didn't sending people through it open it further?
Yeah. You'll notice that that closed them. Actually, quite the opposite. Sending them through it.
No, when they were returning to their realm, it closed it. When something was moving through it from our realm to there, it opened it.
No.
Okay.
That's that you have not experienced these portals getting larger ever. No.
Okay.
You've only ever seen things pass through them.
Okay.
And it, closes them in some way. Whether it closes fast or real slow, that was the variable.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So now we've been promoted from disposable human labor to human sacrifice.
Well, we weren't. Not yet, anyways.
I
think
mean, collective we.
Yeah, I think he means like us as prisoners. Axton's kind of scratching his head at all this. We can't let this go. We can't let this happen. I mean, they'll kill us all. He said 10 in one day. I mean, how many is it going to take before they get what they want? What if they come for us next? I mean, we're adventurers. We're strong. We have powers. We are powerful, but not everybody here is like us.
No.
Most people here aren't like us. Like Fink, and you see him kind of look at his wooden arm.
Yeah. Many of these folks are just average Joes. Some less than reputable, but others just caught in a situation they couldn't get out of.
Yeah, Race kind of nods his head. He goes, "Oh, yes, we do have our share of people who deserve to be here. But since my time, when I got thrown in the cells here and eventually promoted to kind of running the place and keeping the peace, I got to tell you, more and more people showed up in the years I've been here. And it's like it's been ramped up. This is not a terribly large mine, and to fill it with prisoners, I mean, did y'all ever notice there's no prison in Cobb? They just all come down here. And I've known this
tank at the sheriff's office, but that was it. There was no formal jail.
No, this is the jail. And I got to tell you, at least a third, maybe half of the people here, they're not from Cobb. They're from near Cobb, surrounding the settlements. But there's outsiders here. There's people from hell. There's people as far as Vorn, and there's people from the Whispering Woods, all those community. I mean, the crime exists, and it's almost like they surround the landscape and look for criminals and bring them all down here.
All right. Well, so what do we do?
Well, near as I can tell, I've been collecting intel on what's going on topside. And the town's population is pretty much sort of just going with the flow, but none of them ever have had anything nice to say about the sheriff. And some of them are just dog tired of his rule up there. So I say
His rule, though?
And what role does that preacher have up there?
That's what yeah. The preacher seems to be the guy really in charge.
Well, he's kind of the land baron, I suppose. He owns most of the town in Cobb. But I mean, he hired the sheriff, and he passes sentence over those that have already kind of committed crimes. But the sheriff is the one who rounds everybody up, makes the arrests, sometimes even puts down rebellious folk.
Don't we know?
Yeah, he can see some of your scars haven't quite healed yet. Yeah, you see Axon kind of like twist his wrist a little. He's like, "Yeah, we know what he does."
Yeah.
Well,
but unless we have a way to counter those anti-magic shit that they have got going on.
Yeah. It'd just be a war of attrition.
Yeah.
Anti-magic, you say?
Yeah, he had this little secret little wand. They all have these like secret little wands of theirs or staffs of something that, you know, they would pop it off at somebody and all of a sudden they would lose their magical abilities, their magical connections.
Uh-huh. He just kind of rubs his chin and he goes, I heard a certain someone in your party received an item that might help in that regard. And if you will remember, I don't know who picked it up. If you remember, you guys were left gifts by the Thieves Guild.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a small pouch of little, like, acorns or whatever.
With
that
anti-magic bombs.
They're anti-magic.
Anti-magic bombs, yeah. Those Koza's got those.
I think I have those, yeah.
Right.
What was that?
Anti-magic bombs.
No, I know. I was
It was being a dick.
couldn't hear Koza.
He's teasing Koza is all.
Huh? What?
Listen, Bogey, I don't talk enough as it is.
We know.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, that's kind of finite.
Yeah, how many of those do we have?
It's either 6 or 8.
It was 6.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. That's not a lot given the amount of Wranglers they have.
Yeah.
Wranglers.
We also don't have our stuff.
Right. And
Where is
you
it?
see,
Do we
I'm
know?
sure all our equipment is still topside.
as
Yeah.
far as you know, all of your equipment is with the sheriff somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was all stripped from you and taken away. And that's when you were in his custody.
Yeah.
And Race is going to kind of like run his fingers along his desk and say, well, it sounds like what we need is a plan of attack. You see, the sheriff, he don't got no army. He just has the Wranglers. And there's hundreds of us. Now, that doesn't mean everybody is capable of taking on a Wrangler single-handedly like you and me. And you see him kind of rest his hand as he folds his arms, and you can see on his fur there's like a scar where the fur doesn't grow. And all of you recognize all of you recognize it as a badge. Okay? And Kravish, you recognize it the most, as it has the look of maybe a version of it, not exactly the same as yours, a Knight of the Wilds badge.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's long scarred. It's not well kept. You know, it looks like he might have picked some of the color out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely looks like yours. It's just less detailed.
Okay.
And it's a scar and not a badge.
Not a badge. You know, mine was actually like a badge on my breastplate.
Yeah, with like a chain that goes to your shoulder pauldron. It's actually very ceremonial looking.
Mm-hmm. Now I look at that and I'm like, my eyes give it away. I look a little bit and I'm like, I've seen something like that.
You say that to him?
I do, and I give him a courteous bow, as in like another kind of like, okay, brother.
Okay, as you do this, like there's like 2 or 3 workers that like work for him that like look at him, and they're like putting papers on the desk, and he just kind of looks to all of them and looks at you, and they all kind of giggle to each other, and Race just kind of gives a head shake. He's like, you don't have to bow to me. We don't do that here.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that it's been a long time since I thought about those days, but that's a story for another time. What we need to focus on is how do we do something about the sheriff? Now, My adventuring days aside, I'm not much for strategic warfare. I'm more of a small town problem kind of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all suggest?
Well, a couple of things. One, we need to be able to cut off contact to topside if we do decide to make our move and get out of here. Two, we need to get the general prison population, or at least the majority of them, on our side.
Brace is going to kind of keep pacing along, and when you mention different things, he looks at his underlings who kind of look back at him, and they look at you, and you get the feeling that they're kind of, with looks, kind of communicating with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when you bring up the idea of the prison population, he stops and kind of spins around at you, and he says, "There are those of us that came from the life, so to speak. Snatched, grabbed, trumped up charges. Who knows? All we know is that we served down here our time, and now it's been extended indefinitely. I will put the word out. I will find more like us that can handle ourselves in a squabble. It's not fair to put a pitchfork in an old man's hands and expect him to take on someone much stronger than them, wouldn't you say?"
Yes.
Oh, sure. But like the bard said, when freedom's on the line, a man can move mountains.
He just kind of gives you a smile and looks you up and down, and he's like, "Oh, wise old sage say that to you once?"
Actually, no, it was a drunk in a bar down in Brackenshire.
Likely. Well, all right. Unofficially, you have your orders. Unofficially, you have your orders.
Okay.
I want you to put your own feelers out there. Get a lay of the land. I'll do the same. There are those here that I can trust. There are those that I don't. I'm assuming you'll probably find that out yourself.
We always do.
When I come up with something, I'll contact you. Have ourselves a little powwow.
Gotcha.
But in the meantime, play ball. Don't pick any fights, especially in my territory, and there won't be any problems. Understand?
You got it.
And he's just going to kind of turn away and sit at his desk. And even sitting at his desk, his high pointed ears, much larger and uncharacteristic of a lion, as they're very tall and blade like, that they kind of extend above his head. Even sitting down, he's still like 6 feet tall. Axton's going to kind of give like a very shallow head nod and a look of understanding, a little bit of respect, and he's going to be the first one out the door.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. There is, it's midday. You at the moment don't have any assignment that you're, well, it's not midday. You guys are done with your shift, so it's getting close to dinner time for sure.
Okay.
But the evening is yours. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to go search out Fink, the gnome.
Okay.
I'm going to seek him out and see if he's found out anything interesting about those electronics that I gave him.
Yep. Remind me where you found those.
Huh?
Remind me where you found them.
And at the portal with the robotic folks or the fractal people. They had those little electronic little doodads.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay. Your ascent into the upper areas of the dwellings. You take this familiar. You've been there, I think, once to his little shop. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of where he doesn't sleep there, but he definitely works there. And I'll say that he's there when you arrive. He hasn't quite left for the dinner hour yet, and he's not wearing his kind of exosuit.
Mm-hmm.
He's toddling around the stone slab benches around his workshop. He does have several sets of these walking legs hanging up from like hooks and ropes that dangle from the dark ceiling above. And there's also like what looks like a pair of like stilt legs that he could probably step into, and he's got these big wide wooden feet, and kind of like the lower half of an exosuit, but there's nothing else to do with it. Just kind of looks like it makes you taller. And right now he is sort of like cinching a knot on a piece of thread around a joint on one of his legs. He's got typical miner's garb on. He's got these thick circular glasses that rest low on his nose, and he's just kind of tinkering away.
All right. Okay. I may want to take somebody with me. Hey, Yuna, you up to going with me to meet this guy?
Sure. I'll tag along.
Okay. So we'll tag along, and I'll come up and I'll introduce him, and I'll introduce as a friend and confidant.
Yeah, Axton's going to come with you too, as just a these are my friends, them kind of a thing.
Okay.
Because Axton knows Fink very well,
Right.
and actually, as soon as he gets there, you see Axton kind of pick up a pair of like pliers and just like fiddling with his elbow as you kind of walk in.
Okay, well, go ahead, give yourself a tune-up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You approach. Fink just kind of spins around and notices you with his eyes, and he kind of looks at you because you're very tall, mm-hmm. and you're kind of surrounding him, and he's just like, "Well, hello, gentlemen. What can I do for you?"
Oh, just coming in, saying, "Hey, see if any of those curiosities I brought you earlier in the week have borne any fruit."
Ah, you mean the dilators?
Dilators.
Yes, the dilators. Interesting devices. If your magical friend would be so kind as to give us a bit of a demonstration, and you see him gesture at what is obviously like a practice dummy that has like slash wounds on its like straw-filled sack arms, and it's got like a straw-filled sack head. And he just kind of gestures to it, and he kind of looks at over his glasses, and he's just kind of like, I'd appreciate if you don't obliterate it, but go ahead and shoot something into it.
Firebolt?
Okay.
Firebolt.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack.
Unnatural 20.
A natural 20 definitely hits the mannequin. Go ahead and roll damage.
19.
19.
I'm obliterated.
It's instantly set on fire. The whole thing, and you scatter a huge section of its torso of straw in every direction, sending little embers and flames all over the place. And he instantly hits a that looks like this button on kind of a wooden sort of box. And from the ceiling, these two nozzles just dump like this mist into the fire, and it quickly goes out. And he's like, I thought I said, no, it's fine. It's fine. I dare say you don't even need these things. Jiminy Christmas. And he takes these objects, and they look at this point, they look like almost like a syringe. Go ahead.
I said show off.
Yeah. These objects almost look like syringes in that they have like finger holes, and they also have these small nozzles that extend between the middle of them. So if you were to slip your finger in them, it'd be like you're wearing like a sling ring from Doctor Strange, but it goes all the way to your pinky, and there's a small tube that extends over your wrist facing wherever you'd be pointing it. And he says, all right, slip one of these on Sunny, and Well, I would say do the same thing, but I dare say you'll probably kill us all if you do that. But what the hell? You only live once, don't you?
Okay, then.
I was not muted.
All right, dude. Let her
that's-
rip.
Would you say, Ken?
23 to hit
Okay.
and 28 points of fire damage.
Holy cow.
Jesus.
All right. So what happens when you cast your firebolt is instead of fire coming out of your hand in like a burst, like like a firebolt, the energy circles your fingers briefly, like a photo flash. And emitting from this nozzle is a superheated, channelized beam of like super, super hot air that causes like a white glow. And as you do it, the mannequin is instantly cut in half, but you notice that the edges of the kind of wound, you could say, are not cauterized like you think they would be. They're actually crackling with energy like electricity, and then it dies down and everything kind of calms. You made a clean cut.
Whoa. So you just turned a firebolt into a serious high-powered cutting torch.
It was more like a laser beam, if there is such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken, I don't know if you were talking, but you're muted.
Nope, I was just enjoying the carnage.
Yeah. It's actually not carnage. It was like a surgical cut. It was very fast, very bright. You could feel the heat off of your firebolt in a way that you hadn't before, as it was like concentrated into this little beam. So I'm going to say in using it that way, you're going to understand its properties. You have two of these that I think Kurvish found. They both look slightly different. And it looks like the one that you have on your hand is going to emit whenever you cast a evocation spell. It's going to be focused through the dilator, which will then change the properties of that spell slightly and also add damage. You know that you can use this twice a day before its energy is sort of sapped and must recharge. But whenever you deal damage in a spell, depending on the spell, and I got little notes for every spell. Depending on the spell, it will change slightly, and there will be a little bit more damage.
Well, alrighty then.
Yeah, and it looked like this had some lightning damage associated with it as it cut this mannequin in half. And you instantly see him walk over and kind of he picks up the mannequin torso and kind of leans it on the post. You see him starting to kind of sew it back together a little, very rudimentarily.
Okay. So, do they both do that?
And you see Fink just sort of toddle over to where you are, and he picks up the second one. And the second one, if the first one was like I said, it looks like brass knuckles with like a tube coming out from between the two middle fingers, and everything is like brass, and there are strange runic kind of inscriptions on parts of it that are very, very small, very hard to make out. Mm-hmm. If that one was like a sniper rifle, the other one is like a shotgun. It has a much stubbier. There's a couple of tubes that come out of that, and it looks like it fits in the hand the same way. He would have to try something through it. All I'm going to let him glean from an identification is that it changes spells a little and adds a little more damage. It really depends on the spell. You're not going to know until you try it, kind of a thing. And each one has 2 uses a day.
Okay. And they do evocation magic?
They're any evocation magic channeled through these devices will be altered in some way.
Okay.
Problem is they do require attunement. So you really got to be all about casting spells to use these things.
All right then. Well.
Yeah.
Got a
Not each. Sorry, let me make that clear. Not each.
Just for the set.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, very much obliged.
He just kind of puffs on a pipe and looks at you over his glasses. He's like, "No problem. It was a pleasure to work on them." So, what are you all up to?
Well, let's see today. Flattened some rocks. Got set up to be killed by a giant worm. Had some bread. Took a long walk. Yeah.
He just kind of leans back into his work. He climbs a small step ladder, and he's about even with your eyes now as he just sort of tinkers with these wooden legs hanging from the wall. He just kind of looks over. He's like, "Giant worm, huh?"
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting idea of fun. Between you and me, man, we were set up. They're trying to get
You think so?
I do. Those guards seemed to hot-foot it out of there real quickly, like they knew that was not a place to be hanging around.
They don't like you very much, Kravish.
I don't know why. They just need to take me out to dinner and find out what a lovely singing voice I have.
I'm sure you do. Seems the guards around here are real hit or miss as far as being friendly or not.
Yeah. But
The unfriendly ones seem to not really appreciate those that have a way of handling themselves.
Yeah. But just watch your back, man. Things are getting kind of spooky around here. And just
I will, with all 8 of my eyes.
8.
Yeah, and he just kind of like lets that comment lie.
okay.
Okay.
We know how much Maven.
Okay, I'm going to say Maven immediately looks and inspects his bald head because he's got just a little tuft of hair above each of his ears, a little half ring goes around the back of his head. And Maven, as Fink just kind of brushes past you all and continues moving, you see Maven look at the back of his head intently. You do not see any eyes.
Awesome. Still awful, but awesome.
Yes, several of his apparatuses do give off spider vibes, surprisingly. It's how he gets around. It's all made of wood. You don't see anything in here to give you the idea that he's anything other than a gnome who finds the shape and functionality of spider legs useful.
Sure. All right. And so I guess at that, we will head for supper.
Head for supper. And as you head for supper, we are going to take a little break.
Okie doke.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. It's 4:04. We'll call it 4:05. We'll meet back here at 4:20.
There you go.
I don't do that on purpose every time we play this game ever.
Got my eye on
I
you.
promise.
It's
I
okay.
remember.
I had a locker at work at the National Guard work, and
Yeah.
like the only person here who probably doesn't do or doesn't want to do it, they gave me locker 420.
420. Of course they did.
They
The
did.
universe has a sense of humor, does it not?
I know.
Yeah. All right. We will meet back here in 15 minutes, folks.
Alrighty.
All righty. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Well, Dinner is a rather
Steak.
tedious affair. It's well, you don't get your steak just yet. But it's a tolerable gruel, with dusty bread and big wooden bowl and spoon to shovel it down your gullet. Feeds you for the day. It's lacking in the spices of life, but it's definitely serviceable. While you're at dinner, I'm going to say that Baranor, Maven, Axton to a certain degree, although he's mostly just focused on his bowl as he's just scarfing it in. You do notice that there are a number of people seated around you that don't have the same demeanor as the rest. You definitely catch 2 or 3 of them, various humanoids. There's a dwarf, there's a human, there's a half orc, there's a Goliath. Kind of give you these side eyes throughout the meal. It looks like they're one of them. I'd say that those of you who are really perceptive can tell that one of them is trying to look like he's having a conversation with others at the table, but you can tell his focus is almost he's leaning towards you a little bit, as if to either listen or see as you catch glances. And there are roughly 7 of them.
You don't recognize them at all?
No,
Okay.
not personally. There's 1 or 2 of them you may have seen passing in the halls, but there's hundreds of people here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I will say that the month you've been here, you do kind of, you've settled into a routine where you even kind of have the same table that you sit on for meals. And these guys aren't terribly familiar with, the people that you normally see in this area.
Do we get nefarious vibes? I don't know how else to put
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gonna keep an eye on that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's about to pibbity pop off. Excited.
One of them stands to his feet, grabs his little bowl, and the way you guys are sitting, it doesn't really matter your seating arrangement. You guys are all kind of huddled together, with no one in between. You guys sit together most of the time, with really nobody in between you. This guy stands up, and whatever side Kravish is on, he stands up on that side and turns towards your group. And he's holding his bowl and his spoon in his hand. And
I'm reaching down to my dagger.
Okay. And
just quietly, just still eating.
Yeah. And he's going to approach Kravish from the back. He gets to about your shoulder blade. And Maven, would you say you're across the table from Kravish or sitting next to him?
Next to him.
Next to him? Yeah. You clearly see he's got a shank in his hand. He's about 2 feet away. And I'm going to give you two and anybody else who wants a chance to react, as he definitely palms this metal shard sharpened to a point, wrapped in twine at the handle, and he's going to make it about a foot away from Kervish's right shoulder blade with this. What would you all like to do?
Punch him directly in the face.
Okay, go ahead and make just make an acrobatics check just to see if you can get in between this character and Kravish in the moment that he's going to stab at him.
Okie doke. Well, that'll be 28.
Okay. He gets to make an attack roll, and we'll see if he beats you. Ooh, 28, you say?
Yes,
it's
sir.
not possible for him to beat you unless I got a natural 20, which I did not.
Okay.
So, less than punching him, you catch him at the wrist with one hand.
Yeah.
In a split second, he's going to be able to react to you doing that. I will allow you to continue your movement to punch him, and a 28.
While she's doing this, I'm also coming around with the dagger to his neck.
Okay. You have full access to his neck as his hand that is closest to you is being held. So he can't stop you if he wants to. What do you want to do?
I want to just whisper to him, it's like, you ladies better think really hard about how bad you want this.
Okay. Maven, would you like to punch him?
Yeah, directly in the face.
Okay, go ahead and give me your damage.
13.
13. That's enough to knock him off his feet to the ground. Do you wish to release his wrist?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still got his shank in his hand. He scurries away. Kravish, I'm going to need an intimidation check from you, please. And what is everyone else doing? Axton is currently standing to his feet. His mouth is filled with food, like to the bursting at the cheeks, and he's going to grab his fork and approach both of you.
That's a 23 for an intimidation.
23, that's enough. He scurries away. Axton steps on he's kind of got like a long, ratty burlap tunic, and he's going to kind of step on his tunic, holding him in place. As one of the other guys stands, who's nearest to Axton, Axton's going to drive his fork into the man's hand, stapling him to the table.
Baranor's up on his feet, taking like a ready stance, kind of looking around the room, gauging what else everyone else is doing.
Okay. You can make a perception check for me.
I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Is just continuing to eat.
Yeah, I want you to make a perception check too, though. Please, because while you're eating, you're also paying attention, but trying to look like you're not paying attention.
14.
Okay. 21 on perception. All right.
I'm gonna let the 21 ride.
Okay, let's deal with Yuno first. You don't see much because you're actually just eating. Your friend's got this. You don't really sense any peripheral danger. These guys do seem a little tougher, especially the Goliath, who is not standing to his feet, by the way. He's just kind of glaring at you all. You do see the population around you kind of back up as there is some violence going on. And Baranor, you're sort of the furthest away from all of this. So you're looking kind of across the room, keeping them in view. And you do see 2 or 3 guards with these pole axes kind of looking at you, and they begin to descend upon your position.
On my position?
Everybody's position. Like they're
okay.
They're approaching the scene, weapons drawn. They're going to they kind of get in the middle of all of this. Axton still has his hand on the fork. His assailant is kind of squirming and writhing, and Axton just kind of looming over him, giving him a death stare as he's a little bigger than this guy. And you see the guards just kind of raise their pole arms at all of you. It's like, what's going on here?
Oh, just somebody sending us some love notes.
And you see one of them looks over at Maven and Kravish and kind of decides which one of you to sort of get in between. And they look down at this half-orc guy that's kind of scurrying away, his shirt pinned by Axton's foot. And he's like, so, we're causing trouble here yet again, are we? And
no, we ain't causing no trouble, boss.
Not causing any kind of trouble.
I was talking to the feller on the floor.
Oh, okay.
And he just kind of reaches down and picks up this half-orc, he's not like a huge hulking, full orc, and kind of picks him up by his scruff of his neck, and he's got kind of like a long black mohawk. Picks him up by the scruff of the neck and to sort of a kneeling position and opens up. He kind of like digs into his hand and pulls out this very short, ineffectual dagger, shiv shank thing, just kind of made from like a piece of bent metal that's been sort of scraped with an edge on it. And he's like, well, Max, I believe that makes 3. Time to put you in the hole. And he lifts him to his feet. And just as he does that, a silver piece topples from his pocket that none of the guards really clock, but you all do. And it just sort of rolls right next to, we'll say, Kravish's foot.
I'll grab it with my claw-like feet and try to hold it between my toes.
Yeah, easy.
Step on it so
It's
covered
it's just a single silver piece. And they kind of haul him away and drag him kicking and screaming. And with that, you see a couple other, not all 7 of the ones that you clocked, but definitely like 2 or 3 kind of like very slowly get up and just kind of disappear into the crowd because there's kind of a commotion now. There's people walking around and the guards are working to settle everybody down and sit down and finish your meal and nothing to see here kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guess we sit back down.
Okay. We'll sit
Yeah.
back down and resume our meal.
Yeah, and with your passive wisdom, I'll say that you scan the room and look at those people that are still here that were mad dogging you. They're not mad dogging you anymore.
up.
They're just kind of looking at their bowl of stew and keeping to themselves.
I'm going to connect with everyone but Yuno, since he doesn't seem to care about all this, and connect to everybody psychically, or
Okay. I also have a question.
I bet you do.
I have plenty of questions, but I'll let Barry go first.
There's D8. Okay. So we're connected for 4 hours. Okay. And in everybody's head, I'll kind of be like, that was definitely a setup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the silver piece I clocked definitely doesn't look like standard prison issue.
No, they were paid to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Probably by the guards themselves.
What good is having silver coin in the mine? Where are you buying things from?
Some of these guys are, currency's currency.
You guys have, you have in your possession, little pouches of these little crystals and special rocks that you found that you have used to trade for little things here and there. You have seen people exchanging on a limited basis goods and services for little items of value, and none of you have seen necessarily coinage. That's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm. All right.
My question to everyone is, what was the point? If they were just going to stop the attack after it started, I figured they were going to get us to attack or get us to defend ourselves, and then have an excuse to throw us down the hole. And by hole, I mean the magical hole.
Yeah. I think Maven just put a stop to it too quick for anything to develop. Good job, Boo.
I mean, you're welcome. Did you expect me to just let him stab you? No.
No. All right.
Just saying, they could have easily just sat back and kind of watched. Obviously, we still have some company here.
Mm-hmm. Which of those guys looks like the most shaken by what just transpired?
Surprisingly, the Goliath.
The Goliath.
Yeah, he is a very tall, lanky, skinny, Goliath, gray skin. He's got black lines sort of tattooed all over his body. And he's sort of like eating his food very nervously and looking straight ahead. He looks young, too. He looks like he's in his, late teens.
I am going to just kind of discreetly point over his way. And I'm just going to use the message cantrip to put into his head, who hired you?
Okay, he can... That's 20... It's, what is it, 25 words?
No. Message is only limited by its distance.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of sending.
Sending. That, can go like any plane of existence. Message is only limited to like 120 feet, but it can be as long as 20 feet.
Oh, okay.
All it says is,
how does it work? Does he know it's you? How does that work? Or does he just hear it in his head?
He hears it in his head.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I need you to make another intimidation check. You can do this one at advantage because I'm going to say that you know enough about this spell to know he's not going to know it's you.
17.
Okay. Oh, dear. He got a 3. So he is looking around nervously. You do catch him. All right, here's a question. You catch him kind of glancing at you ever so slightly, like real fast. Are you looking at him? Okay. So he's going to look at you, and you notice that as these words enter his mind, he's kind of glancing at you guys a little more frequently, and then all of a sudden he kind of looks around all over the place, and you see him look up, and he like looks down into his bowl of stew, and he just kind of like you hear him sweat. You hear him kind of panting to himself and hyperventilating a little bit, and he just kind of looks around one last time, wipes his mouth, gets up, and walks away. He doesn't answer you.
As he's walking away, I do it again. I point towards him and I whisper towards him. It's like, you all are being used. You mean nothing to them. Who hired you? He's gonna kind of drop his bowl off at like this big basin where it looks like they're being collected. And he's going to stand around and turn around, and he's just far enough. It's pretty far, right? Isn't it like 120 feet? 120 feet, yeah.
Yeah. So he's like half that at the most at the other end of this dining hall chamber. He's going to stop, and he's just going to answer you with, "I don't know who you are, but get out of my head, and he'll kill me if I talk to you." And he's going to keep leaving, which I don't think matters to you. I think you can still, as long as you know the direction he's at, you can still talk to him.
I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go,
okay.
But you're not talking, are you? No one else needs to know. Who hired you?
And you lose sight of him. He goes kind of dips around a corner and walks to the other side of the dining hall. And I'm going to have, let's see here. Yeah, intimidation is 17, so you've startled him. I'm going to need a persuasion check for sure. You definitely feel like you got under his skin. He's listening. 28. Ow. You hear a response. It takes a while. How long does this last?
It's just a back and forth.
Okay, so is it a cantrip?
It is.
Okay, so yeah, back and forth, no problem. All right, so it takes a while. It actually gets to the point where you guys are like pretty much finishing dinner. And in your head, you just hear a whisper. I wasn't gonna. They made me come. No, they didn't pay me. Those are the fellas. Fellas are more trusted. But I don't know if I trust you enough to tell you anymore.
Okay. Well, if he's still within range, I can cast it through solid objects.
He is. I guess you would magically feel that, I suppose, that he is close enough. Or you can just blindly cast it in the direction that he last was. And
if I'm familiar with the target and know he's beyond the barrier, I'll just simply say, your funeral.
You hear a response a little quicker than the last. And all you hear in response is a very nervous voice. Heavy breathing. Twilight. Under fountain. That's all you hear.
Okay. Twilight under fountain.
Mm-hmm.
Have we seen a fountain around here?
You've been here for a month. You do know of the Under Fountain. It is a bathing facility. It's located on a extreme lower portion of the mine because that's where all the water collects to. And you also know that there is no one supposed to be there. When he says twilight, that's like in the middle of the night. And you know that's not a time where the guards, you don't go there at night. You go there after work.
Okay. I'm assuming you're relaying this all to us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Or to you.
Well, and I'm disseminating it from there. We can fill
Right.
Uno in later.
Ooh, can we play telephone?
Yeah, all of a sudden, Uno's like, why are you guys looking so concerned? Like, we just had a whole damn drama act play out here, and he's just oblivious to it.
He's afraid of an apple pie? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Well, dinner is had. You are shuffled off to turn in your dirty plates and continue down the hall that leads back to the dwelling wing of the mine where you all sleep and congregate after work. As a matter of fact, just because I think I still have the map. Yep. It's back here where you are all brought to. There we go. I think you're all there. Yep, everyone's there. So, you're offered a reprieve. You can go in your cells. You can kind of hang out in the common area. There are other prisoners here, most of which you sort of know. There's
any of the ones we clocked before.
No. Like I said, you didn't recognize these people. Not the one that tried to stab you, or the Goliath that Pravish was conversing with, or any of them that just gave off this, like, they looked nervous more than, like, intimidating. They as I guess they would be if they weren't warriors and they were tasked with killing Pravish. Sure, that is not something they want to do, or at least don't look like they want to do. You are all left, I guess, to your own devices until the guards, staunch the torches and kind of have everyone make it back to their cell, where you are all locked indoors.
You've been waiting to use that word.
What's that?
You've been waiting to use that word.
What, locked?
Staunched.
Oh. They staunched the torches.
Just the way you said it, like, oh, he's been waiting to say that first this whole time.
Yes, the torches are very staunched.
Yes. Oh, okay.
The evening draws on. You all know you've got several hours to go before you'll be summoned to work again.
Probably best for us to have a watch schedule.
Uh-huh. Is there anything anybody wants to do tonight?
I mean, we need to go to the fountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before that.
I will say that you notice that your wing is not uncharacteristically, because there are times where the guards are patrolling other areas. At this moment, you guys are sort of on your own.
Okay. I'm going to take out one of the things that I got. There was the quill with the glowing ring around the base and a parchment.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we ever really explored that.
Mm-hmm.
It was invisible writing, wasn't it?
Kind of.
Well, that's right. You wrote it, and then it was invisible for a while, and then it became visible.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. I don't know. Did anybody identify it?
That I don't know.
That I don't know.
I think it did. I think maybe... Was it Fink that identified it for you? I don't remember.
I don't know.
If you know that it writes invisibly, you also find out that I'll say that you experiment a little bit, because you have kind of like, there's scraps of parchment milling about the whole place. It's not completely like a dungeon. It's a jail. It's a prison. So you're able to acquire a couple pieces of parchment, and you do this on a couple pieces. And while you do find that you scribble a little something on one and it doesn't really show up, you can actually see it very faintly. No one else can see it. And then kind of when you twist the ring on the quill, you're kind of deciding how long until it reveals itself. You also notice that when you write on one, and you've marked one page with the ink of this will, which you don't have to recharge the ink; it's endless. And it's it disappears or it doesn't show up on the one, and then you write on another one. Mysteriously, what you write on the second one shows up on the first one.
Okay, that's freaky.
Yes, freaky it is.
Meet the guy.
I solemnly swear it looks no good.
How many of us want to go to that?
Axton is going to opt out. He is very tired.
I mean, this is primarily a stealth-like mission.
Is it?
Well, I mean, if you're going to the Underfountain...
Well, where is the Underfountain from here?
Well,
it's not terribly far. It's not terribly far. What you have to do is you have to get out of this chamber. Okay, and if you're on the map, you can see that there's a gate in the upper right of your little common area room. Right? Okay. You have to get through that door, and then you have to kind of move down a hallway that there are windows on either side that are barred, and there are like rooms in beyond with like there's doors that lead to them, and there are guards that sit sometimes at those stations and kind of watch the hallway, and beyond that is what is kind of like a four-way passage that goes in four different directions, and one of those passages goes directly to the Underfountain.
Okay, so we gotta go out.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that Baranor and Maven, if they're, if Maven's up for it, they'd probably say those two at least.
Okay.
I mean, I can go with you if you want, just the three of us.
Well, I mean, you made contact with him initially.
Yeah, for Koza could wild shape into a mouse and come with us.
Yeah.
Yep. Can also cast Polymorph, which I think can do that too. Unless where you guys are at, how high is Polymorph?
4th level.
It's a
Oh,
fourth
yeah, you're
level
not
spell.
You're not doing polymorph. Never mind.
Yeah, but like I said, Koza can wild shape.
Yeah, and Koza, if you wild shape, is what happens to things that you're holding, or wearing, or in your pockets?
It all just kind of gets absorbed into my body.
Okay.
And hey, we can hear
So-
him.
What's that?
I said we can hear him now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Baranor can hear him. Oh, you mean you can hear Noah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could hear you really well now. What'd you do?
I'm using my phone instead of my headphones.
Oh, okay. Can you hear all of us okay?
Yeah, no, you guys sound good.
Okay, good. Awesome. I'll have to sort that out later, huh?
I think it's just my headphones. They're kind of old. I might just need to get new ones.
Yeah. It was atrocious. Okay. So this quill and this parchment, with your little kind of just sort of working it out, you do get the feeling that depending on how this ring is facing, because it's got little hash marks, and you're kind of inspecting it, and you can tell that there are different like settings. One of them is you write something down, you can see it highlighted in gold glitter until it's finished, and you can set how long before it appears on the paper. Or you can spin the little ring around, and once you kind of touch the quill to two pieces of parchment, whatever you write on one will appear on the other. So those are the two settings that it can be placed on.
Okay. So, who's staying? Who's going? You up for a field trip?
I'll tag along.
Okay. So far I've got Koza. Are you wild shaping? Because a big group, you guys are going to definitely have to roll some stealth checks.
Yes, I will be wild shaping into a mouse.
Into a little mouse.
Into a little mouse.
Okay. So Baron, it's everybody then except for Axton, I think. Axton's not going. He's saying no. I am not stealthy. I'm not trying my luck. I'm not going. You guys, good luck to you.
You can pass without trace the gang, can't you, Baranor?
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
Second
That
level,
doesn't
so.
convince him. Yeah, that doesn't convince him. He's staying behind. The hour of twilight approaches. You are all within your cells. Your cells are locked, but if I'm not mistaken, somebody received thieves' tools.
Yeah, and it wasn't me for some reason.
Yeah, these tools, and somebody has a really cool key.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what the key goes to.
It's a very pretty key. What would you all like to do?
Who has the thieves' tools?
Do you want to spend some time leading up to Twilight to plan, or you just want to kind of free yourselves and wing it?
I feel like a plan would be very much warranted.
Well, we don't know.
We should at least attempt to plan.
We should have concepts of a plan.
There he
we're
is.
going to meet this kid.
Uh-huh.
And we already have the detailed map, so we know the most direct route, as well as a route that may arouse the least suspicion, at least the most secretive route.
Yeah, why don't you give me... what's a good intelligence check? Why don't you give me a history check, Kravish, as you guys do have this little scrawled out map, I believe.
I think it was actually a quite detailed map. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
one
I
of
also
them
have-
was like a certain portion of the mine really detailed, and then another one was like a general thing, but the whole mine.
And
I
I
think that's how-
have really good. One of my features allows me to have really good map skills.
Okay. Whoever wants to make the map check, give me a history check.
I would leave that up to Baranor since that's his strong suit.
I mean, it's part of my Outlander background is the Wanderer feature. You have an excellent memory of maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you.
Cool.
So, Ranger shit.
Do you want me to do a history check? Because that's...
Yes, I do.
Okay. This is not going to go well.
You can add your proficiency to it, can't you?
No.
Well, I don't like the fact that we have a new rule. You could just do it. That's stupid.
Well, it's part of the background feature. That's the thing.
I understand that, but being you can take a map and just read it and know it and you're good. I feel like there should be a buff to a roll. That's just my opinion, I guess.
Yeah, well, so the background features are very, super niche things. I think the sailor one is you can find passage on any ship or something like that.
Right. Yeah, which is so hard to roleplay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. How about give me I'm going to, you know what? I'm the DM. I'm going to give you a buff. I'm going to let you roll that with proficiency.
Okay. That's a 10 then.
Okay. So you are having trouble focusing on this map because we'll say it got dirty. And you just really tanked on that roll, didn't you? A 4. Ugh. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what.
And intelligence is not Baranor's strong suit. That's why. He's wise.
Well, it
not
is now.
Smart.
He's not smart. That's okay. We're not going to hold that against him.
I mean, he's got a 14? Not a 14. A 12
yeah, that'd be a 12. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not.
It's not a smarty pants.
Yeah,
but it's not bad.
It's
in any case,
charisma score.
Yeah, right. In any case, poring over this map, you get the feeling that there aren't any shortcuts. There aren't any super stealthy ways. It's just kind of a straight shot there, and you just have to do what you can to not, to avoid being detected, because there are a few places along the way that there are guards. Like I said, the main gate up here, there's typically a guard that's just standing there with his back to you. Sometimes he's gone. Right now, he's gone. And then later in this hallway up here, there are little rooms where guards sometimes sit. The windows that they can see out of are very high. And there's usually not one on either side of the hallway, or on both sides of the hallway. It's usually one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we're one day from the beginning of the session to now. This is all still just one day, right?
You go. Well, I'd say no. You have just entered your second day.
Okay, good. So I have a long rest and I can reset my spell slots.
No.
We haven't slept yet.
No. You did not rest. You guys have been waiting. Don't get that twisted. I mean, unless you decided to go to bed super, super early, which you did not.
Yeah. I know what he was trying to say, but yeah.
All right, then. Guess we done.
8 hours of rest, if that's what you need.
Yeah. Or 4 in Maven's case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm good.
All right. So, the time is now, unless you guys want to hash out any last-minute details.
I'm going to, as far as for the travel, I'm going to cast invisibility.
Okay.
Just to help take the stress off of the pass without trace, and
okay,
just to help things out.
And what's the length on that? The duration? Okay. So for an hour, you guys all notice Kravish kind of make his hand motions, and it's very unceremonious, as it would be. You wouldn't want to call attention to this. You just see his frame kind of darken into the shadows of his cell and sort of disappear in the darkness.
Boom.
Okay, so do we have to get out of our cells first?
That would be ideal.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying
That'd be a good place to start.
Is each cell locked? Is what I'm asking.
Absolutely.
Okay. I wasn't
Now,
sure if
was there a
this-
time delay between cells being locked and twilight?
No. We can run this within 5 minutes.
Okay, because what I was thinking of is after the guards leave, and once there's a sufficient amount of time that we can get started on that.
Yeah. The guards kind of they come and go, but they're gone for longer than they're here. And, it's been 5 minutes since you last heard the footsteps of a guard, and, you're pretty sure he's gone off to some other wing to keep an eye on stuff, and eventually he'll probably be back, but...
Yeah. So I'll hold off on casting invisibility until, I'm actually, walking out the door.
Yeah, that's okay. Understood.
Who has the lockpicks?
One of y'all did. Over the last 2 or 3 days, if you want to retro it that they gave them to you,
Sure.
we can do that.
Let's do that because
Let's do that.
I recall them not coming to me, which was the weird thing about the whole situation. But
I do kind of want to see Maven break a whole bunch of lockpicks in a row.
Okay, I think I'm okay though.
She just straight up roguing it.
Yeah.
Rogue.
She's jamming it in there.
I was a rogue.
It's not working.
No, you wouldn't get that reference.
You make this look so easy. What do you mean?
Okay. So yeah, I will take the lockpicks and I'll pick my cell door, and then I'll work my way down the line of whoever is coming with. So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to make you roll. I'm going to make you roll once for the entire attempt. So if you want to make a thieves' tool roll, that will dictate how it goes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to guidance and psychic knack it then.
And you're going to see. Can you benefit from 2 layers of guidance? Is that possible?
No, guidance does not.
Okay.
But my psychic knack does.
Right. Wow.
Well, okay, I don't need the fucking guidance and psychic knack then. Never mind.
Okie dokie.
That's a perfect roll.
Almost.
But I'm curious.
You want me to go higher?
I think you should. This is a big deal. Breaking everybody out of freaking jail.
37.
Man, if you had rolled 40, I would have had something special, but you didn't.
Well, I don't have the gloves on.
Yeah.
The gloves of thievery or whatever. That would have been a +5.
Yep. That's okay. Okay. So you guys feel all of you are at the bars of your cell except for Axon, who is quietly snoring away. You're kind of at the bars looking back and forth, looking at the gate, looking at Baranor's cell, and as you look, you see Baranor's hands on the bars of the cell.
Really quickly.
Sure.
I take one of the pieces of parchment and the 2 pieces of paper, and I'll sync them so that I can leave notes for Axton.
Okay. All right.
You portal to hell.
I'm guessing you're explaining this to him because he's,
yes,
he's not to where he can't be spoken to. Okay. All right. He just kind of rolls the parchment up and kind of tucks it under his armpit as he kind of curls into bed, and he's like, "Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do."
Good luck. May the force be with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So, you're all just sort of at the bars in your cells, and you're looking at Baranor, and I'd say only Maven catches this because Maven is an elf who can see really fast things, and she's magic like that. You guys kind of look at the door because you hear a distant sort of boot scrape maybe, and you look back, and it's like a millisecond, and all of a sudden Baranor is pulling a pick out of this lock and pushing this door open. He kind of one by one approaches your cells, kind of gives you each a nod, in a way of like, all right, here we go. And with ease, it's almost like it's almost like he made these locks himself, that he knows their inner workings so well. He's unlocking one with one hand and slipping out, and it's almost like he's choosing a different little pick because maybe it'll fit a little better and open a little quicker, and it does. He walks up to Maven's and just kind of, almost like he inserts it, twists it, and pulls it out, and it's almost like the thing was made, as a key for this door. You are all in the common area of your little prison wing, and the front gate up there is vacant. You don't see anybody behind it, and you also don't see anybody. Those with dark vision, because it's completely dark here, you don't see anybody in the hallway that beyond that gate.
Okay. I will now proceed to cast Pass Without a Trace as well.
All right. You stand at the, the front gate. Do you wish to unlock that as well?
Yes.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I failed to disarm one trap, like ages ago when I first started taking levels in Rogue, and I vowed never to do it again.
Okay, just finishing up this map here.
With the Gloves of Thievery, I have a plus 17 to sleight of hand.
Damn. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't see anything, I know.
Darkness imprisoning me.
I just have to do this piece by piece.
Absolute horror.
Okay. So, you see through the bars, you see this hallway.
Okay.
You see the windows of several rooms, kind of like that. There is a pillar in the middle of the room, and it is currently vacant. You don't see anybody in the hallway. Actually, you know what? Just because of perspective, you really wouldn't be able to see this, would you? Yeah. All right. Do you wish to pop this gate?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to need another Thieves Guild or Thieves Tools check from you, please.
Okay.
This one's a little more tough. This lock is not quite as simple.
So I can't guidance because I have Pass Without a Trace up. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to rely on this and Psychic Neck. So let's.
Okay. Yo.
Well, let's do a
Get
Psychic
in
Neck.
8. Get in 8. Aww.
Aw.
Aww. It's only a 2.
The D8 failed me.
That's okay. I'm acting like a 34 is not amazing. It is. You pop this one open as well, and just because you got a natural 20 on a Thieves' Tools check, this lock will never require a roll from you again.
Sweet.
You'll just, you know exactly, you can like feel the tumblers and the pins in their positions and stuff, and it's like, this lock so well, it's nothing to you. So that gate is now open.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What do we do now?
This one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the fountain is just keep going north?
Yes.
Okay. And these are the guard rooms?
You don't know. No, they're not really like this area here. It's just a hallway, and there are these windows with small doors next to them, and you have noticed that this is where guards will sit sometimes to like keep an eye on the hallway and the block. There's never 4, and they're rarely on both sides of the hallway. It's a kind of a sparsely guarded or manned station. But there are 4.
Kravish, are you invisibles?
I'll just walk up that way. Are we still connected psychically?
I can re-up that right now.
Okay.
I don't think that. Hang on. Let me make sure that doesn't take concentration to do that.
I don't think it does.
Nope, it's just a feature of the.
Yeah.
Okay,
the soul
cool.
knife.
Yeah, Kravish.
let me do another D8 to see how long we are connected. Another 4 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Kravish, you will know that invisibility potions do not silence footsteps.
Right.
So you're going to make a stealth check with advantage plus your pass without a trace.
Pass without trace. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be like right.
Stealth with advantage.
It is only 30 feet from me, so.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of measuring here. Even if you're right here, he can still make it all the way to the pillar. He can make it and see into all 4 of those rooms for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's a 27 stealth.
27 stealth, very respectable score. With the pads of your dragon feet barely touching the cobblestone floor. Step by step, you inch your way in. You come to the first set of windows. You look left, you look right. They're both empty.
Okay. And I'll just relay that really quickly. First set of windows are empty.
Okay.
You tiptoe further into the room. Now,
how high did you say those windows were?
The windows, the bottom of each window is like 4 feet, and the window itself is like, I don't know, 4 feet tall, 2 feet wide. There's bars on the windows.
Okay.
And I'll say, as you look in, you see that they're empty. It's just there's a small door next to the window, and it's a tiny little chamber. It also looks like there's a sword rack, a crossbow rack. There's a couple little quivers of ammo. There's some parchment, charcoal, not quills, and there's a book or two. They look very small. Maybe they're recreational or diaries. And there's a tiny little bench and a tiny little stool, and nobody inside. And it's like that on both sides.
Okay. So I'll relay that as well. Room here on the left has weapons.
Yep. Yeah. Nothing illustrious. There's looks like a short sword. There's a hand axe, a couple of spears, and we'll say 10 bolts of crossbow ammo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get
now
into that little room?
There is a door just to the right of each of these windows that leads into this tiny little chamber. I mean, the chamber's like 5 by 5. It's really small.
Oh, okay, I thought the door was in the back, like inside.
No. There is a small window here and a small door here, right next to it that leads into it.
Okay.
Now you can't see where Kravish is. He can tell you where he is. Do you stay back here at the door while he's moving, or are you going to follow him?
He's communicating forward or back. That both these rooms are clear. You said the one on the right has weapons in it.
They both kind of have between them, but they both have like 2 short swords, a couple hand axes, a dagger or 2, and a few spears. There's not a lot of weapons here.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. I will move up to like right over here, but staying kind of low to the wall.
Yeah, but you kind of stay low.
Yeah. You tiptoe deeper into the room and approach the second set of windows, one on the left, one on the right. What happened to my music?
As I am entering the room, also, I am checking for traps on the floor.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right.
Traps on the floor for the second guy in the room to find.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect the bard to be looking for traps, so.
No, well.
Most certainly
it's just kind of funny to me is all. All right.
I won't be the one to step on the traps.
There we go.
28? Yeah, okay.
All right. Kravish,
Yo.
what you didn't step in was a kind of a cobblestone. And you managed to with that stealth, just oozing that much stealth, you managed to miss this. You stepped over what looks like a fishing line tripwire.
Okay.
Which is something that as you look back and Baranor is kind of crawling along the floor behind you, you noticed him stop and Baranor, you catch your finger right on the edge of this fishing line, and you're sure that if somebody were to kick this free, you follow the fishing line into the wall, and there's a little pinhole, perfect for a poison needle.
Okay, so important.
I'll psychic.
We're going to be doing this one together.
Yeah, I'll psychically mention him you got lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
If only there was a better spell than find traps. The fucking most worthless second. It's like a second level spell too.
Yeah.
That just tells you there are traps, not where they are, what they do. Just there are traps here.
There are nebulous traps.
The stupidest second level spell ever.
It's what is it? True Strike.
Yeah,
it's another one that.
But
that's another one that.
Isn't that a cantrip though?
It is.
No, it's not. No, it is not. True Strike is definitely a first level spell.
Okay, first level spell. That's fine. This is a second level spell though. Find traps is second level.
Yeah. Oh no, True Strike is a cantrip.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so stupid. It's painfully useful. It's I'm going to give up my action so my next action has advantage when I could have rolled this one and that one, which is also kind of advantage. Stupid.
But at least it's a cantrip. You're not really...
Yeah.
Find traps is a second level spell.
You have a problem with that one, I guess.
Don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, right.
Even the new rules doesn't... they didn't fix it for the 2024 version either.
Maybe they don't like it. They're allowed. They're allowed to not care.
You can sense any trap within range that is within line of sight. Also.
Oh, okay. So then you at least know that it's something you could see if you were looking for it.
Yeah, but if you that's even worse. There's a hidden trap that I can't see. that the spell won't even tell me about.
Isn't that the point of all traps?
I know. Yeah. I'm gee, thanks.
There's a trap under this flat stone. Oh well. Well, I'll say this. Scurrying along with a 28 investigation. Did you make that higher? Yeah, you did, right?
No, I didn't. I can make it higher.
Okay.
31.
Okay, 31. Once you cross just so you know, once you cross the 30 threshold, there comes with it certain benefits that you wouldn't have gotten on a regular pass. So as you're, I'll leave you this question: do you want to disarm this trap? Do you want to spring it, or do you want to make it so that it will just be inert until you essentially put a little clip on the string or something?
I'm gonna make it inert, just simply because I don't want
destroyed.
I don't want it destroyed. I don't want our passage to be noticed. Mm-hmm. And if there's a destroyed trap or a triggered trap, that would,
that would make a red flag that somebody was here.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm making it inert. I'm also I don't know, marking it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll say that you're able to kind of pull some of the string out of the hole that it's in without triggering it. Almost like it's on a string and it's meant to be yanked. So you pull just enough of that string out that you can then take a pebble or a rock, weigh it down, and then press the rest of the string into the cobblestone. So no one is any longer at risk of tripping over it. It's now as flat as the ground. Makes sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Kervish,
Yo.
in your invisible form, you feel a tap at your ankle because with his 31, he's able to determine or detect every single trap in this room. And Baranor, I like to think that you're literally like flat on your belly, looking at eye level with the ground, and you now see all the way down this hallway. There are like 3 more of these little barely visible fishing line spring traps along the floor. And so you just kind of tap his foot, and you're able to kind of wordlessly point out where they are to Kravish.
Yeah.
Kravish, all I'm going to need from you...
Communication.
Yeah, that'll work too. Absolutely. You know, right under that big, gray rock, there's another one in it. It's like that every 4 feet or something like that is suffice. So, Kravish, I'll say you're no longer in danger of being trapped.
Oh, beautiful.
And as you inch your way down the hallway, you peer into the next set of windows before that pillar, and the one on the right is empty. It looks very similar to the other one. And as you spin around, you come face to face with a guard sitting on the stool. There is a small candle just next to the windowsill illuminating just his face, and you can see that he is very, very dozy.
Okay.
He's not asleep, but he's dozing. He's drowsy. His eyelids are heavy. His head is lolling back and forward. You hear the footsteps of no one else in the immediate area.
Okay. And I'll let the folks know there is a guard in this room. He is half asleep, but he is not asleep.
Got it. Mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody tread extra carefully here.
Yep. Doing that already.
Mm-hmm. So what is everyone else doing? Are you following Baranor? Are the last 3 of you still at the gate?
Following.
Who is missing? Maven, I don't see you.
What?
Oh, yes I do.
Yeah, I'm like...
No,
right
you're
there.
there.
Hard to see.
Kind of hard to see.
There we go.
Okay. I will need a stealth check from everyone. Okay. You do not get advantage, but you do get your pass without a trace.
You talking to me?
Yeah, you're fine. You're sitting where you're at. So I just need a stealth check from everyone. And I'm going to go ahead and roll perception on this guy at disadvantage. It's a natural 4 and a natural 9. Okay. So DC, with that in mind, is quite low. Very good stealth check from the mouse. Is that using mouse stats?
Nope, let me see if that adds anything. Probably does.
I'm sure it does. 5E mouse.
If there,
And what did
we'll have to use
get?
rat.
Got a 34. Yeah, rat's fine. Really don't have a mouse. I feel like a mouse is more stealthy than a rat.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Because I'm the DM, I'm going to do something about that. Dex of 0? A rat has a dex of 0? Are you kidding me?
That's bullshit.
No, that's bad. That's bullshit. No, you're a field mouse. You have a dex of 3. Give yourself a 3 at least. Jesus. And you're proficient. I mean, come on. This is what I mean. I think me and Bogey have bitched about the beasts in the freaking monster manual.
Yeah,
like how
they're not very
stupid they are. Like
Yeah.
what Cat just got night vision for a cat.
Yeah.
How
so
do you
did
withhold that
so
for
did wolves,
20
too.
years?
Yeah. Even
I
the
don't-
new rats have decks of 11, so it's...
That's really stupid. Anyway,
I think it's just because of how, like, rats are used.
yeah.
They're like
Okay.
the level 1 clearing the tavern basement enemies.
So you rolled a 16, Noah. So if you add 3, I'm going to have that as a 19.
okay.
Because you're using the dex of a of a field mouse with teeny tiny little toe beans. I mean, he doesn't make any noise. Teeny tiny. All right. In walking into this room, I'm going to say that stealth roll gets you all the way up to the window without bothering the guard. How would you like to proceed past the window? You walking right by it? You crawling under it? You jumping over it? What are we doing?
Yeah, I'll send a message. Just have everybody crouch down.
Well, yeah, but avoid the tripwires I've already indicated.
Okay. The fact that there are 3 more tripwire traps, and now that you've been your face pressed against the cobblestone inspecting them, you can see that there are parts of the ground of these cobblestones that are more worn than others. Surprisingly, the areas of the cobblestone that are not so worn are where the tripwires are. So it seems like the traffic moving through here, they know where they are. Yeah, they know where they are, and they step over them every day.
Yeah, and I can point out to the rest of the group where to step and everything.
Yes. I will need a acrobatics check. I'm going to let you guys all make it at advantage because Baranor is telling you exactly where to step. As you try, because if you were just walking by the window, it would be one thing, but you're crouching and you're avoiding traps. So I'm going to need a roll from you out of that.
Acrobatics, you say?
Acrobatics from everybody. I would say everybody. If you're trying to move past this window, Kravish, you can also do it at advantage. But definitely an acrobatics check.
Okay.
That's good. Need one from Koza. Unnatural 20 from Kravish. Koza, you're muted. Oh no.
Yeah.
How? What, are you doing it at... You're not doing it at mouse stats, though.
Well, I'd have to add that all in, but...
Okay.
We'll call that a 6, which isn't much better.
It's not a critical failure. Just keep saying that in your mind. What'd you say?
Didn't you say it was at advantage?
His was at advantage. Yeah.
You get a roll again.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, I mean, it's a freaking mouse. That's much, much better.
Yeah, there we go. That's a 19.
Yeah, that's a 19. Okay. All right. Fiusa.
Gee, Nettie.
You all manage to crouch, tiptoe, and avoid traps under the window of this guard, who is leaning now at a 45-degree angle on his hand. He's now dribbling very slightly strings and ribbons of saliva that drip from his lip to the desk beneath him. You pass by, unnoticed, around this pillar, which, for the record, looks like this on the other side. Totally fine. Come to a open doorway. Yeah, the threshold in front of you is open. So I'll let you see into this room. You see a lit doorway at the back, and you know that as definitely your way out.
Okay.
And it's at that moment that you hear approaching footsteps.
From over here?
From this direction. I'm going to say that I'm just going to grab you guys and place you in random places. Wherever you were. What do you do? As you know, in about 3 seconds, someone is going to be standing right here. What do we do? Go.
All right. I'm just like, guys, find an open room.
Okay. Are they not locked?
The room next to Koza is not locked. Although he is a mouse.
Okay.
I guess he doesn't know that.
I will go in that door, whatever it is.
Okay, that door is not locked. Inside are what looks like lumber, tools, things of that nature. And there is a heavy stench of musk and dust, like this hasn't been touched in a while. What about what you doing?
I'm gonna just try to sneak under the door if I can.
Well, you can do that, but I was asking
I'm gonna push on the door.
Which door? This is not a door, this is a wall. Okay, that has a guard behind it. You really want to walk into that room?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna move this way.
Okay. You're still in full view from here to here, for sure. That is a line of sight from whoever is approaching, and they're approaching quick. I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds to figure it out.
Misty step.
Uh-huh.
Away from the noise.
Away from the noise. All right. Well, you can go here, here, or here and get away from line of sight. But anything other than that and that person will be able to see into this room. As I show you, all this is line of sight. So anything directly behind the pillar or behind here or here is line of sight.
Then I'm going to use silent image.
Okay.
To put up a fake wall kind of in front of me.
Okay.
To mimic the wall.
Do you mean create a new wall that wasn't there, or are you trying to make it look like you are the wall behind you?
I'm making it look like I'm the wall.
Okay, so we're going to do some forced perspective and stretch parts of the stone to give that 3D effect so that it looks like it should look from his vantage. Got it. Maven, that door that you're next to did not open. It's just the one that Baranor was in, so you kind of went to kick it open, and you actually made a noise. I need you to make another stealth check, please.
Okie dokie.
Because you just you put your shoulder into it, and it was just
Ow. I'll check. Oops, that was the wrong one. 15.
15. That'll be enough. You did not wake up this guard in this room. The footsteps come to the doorway until you see the silhouette of a very tall guard. He peers into the hallway. You all take a breath, trying not to make a single noise. He looks down in this direction, and Koza, you can see that he's looking right at you.
Can I act as inconspicuously mouse-like as possible?
Yeah, make a performance check.
Oh, come on. I haven't made one of those yet.
The DC will be very, very low because you are a druid.
Let me make sure I'm not at advantage. Okay. There we go. All right. You said performance?
Yeah.
All right. Please be good. Please be good.
Ooh.
Ooh, not bad.
You kind of lick the tips of your fingers and roll them through the fur on top of your head in a very cute, very adorable mouse-like way. Your little bulging black little beady eyes look at the guard, and you just kind of turn 90 degrees and sniff the rock and kind of muddle around the place. He kind of stands there for a moment. You hear him breathe. And as his form turns around, you hear him mutter, "Bloody vermin." And he slowly tiptoes, walks away. You hear his footsteps get quieter as he turns in the direction that he didn't come from, a different direction.
As soon as he's out of view, I just do a little... Yes.
You do a little mouse backflip. Yeah, the doorway is clear. You do not hear this guard anywhere in the near vicinity.
All right. Coast is clear, everybody.
Yep. Coming back out.
Okay. You make it to that next gate. It is locked.
Okay.
I will definitely need another thieves' tool check from you, please.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
No, not as good. Can I get to 30? Let's see.
Can you?
Nope.
Nope.
28.
28. 28 is still really good. Let's not go crazy here. Anything over 20 is awesome. Anything over 17 is good.
Yeah.
But no, it's
like
a 28.
It's like
Yeah, I mean it's like
under a 40 for a stealth check.
Right, exactly. He's just disappointed with himself at that point.
Yeah, fail.
No, you're getting to know your prison locks, and they don't really hold a candle to your skills. And with just a little bit of effort, this one definitely looks like a larger, more hardy lock. So you have to use your picks in a different way to gain leverage to pop the little springs inside, and you do. And with your last stealth check of No, I'm going to need another stealth check just to see if that is loud enough for you to worry.
So it's a 24, 30.
Yeah, no problem. It opens, and for just a moment, you hear the gate kind of creak. So it's not the lock opening that made noise; it's the gate itself. Just this. And Koza, who is the closest to the window, kind of gives a look at the guard, and he just kind of.
You see the mouse give a little pint-sized thumbs up.
Yeah, with a little tiny drop of urine kind of next to him. Or I guess no, they just push out little pellets everywhere they go, don't they?
I'm not sure.
Couple little mousy turds just pop out of Koza just in that instance. You make it back to the back of all of you make it to the back of the hallway. And from there, it's a straight shot. There is a 4-way kind of hub here that is currently unoccupied, although those of you who are very perceptive, in the distance, you can hear, bouncing off of walls and down a hallway, the sounds of that guard and his footsteps. Looks like they're slowly getting a little louder.
Okay. But
maybe he's on his way back.
But it's a 4-way intersection, and he's coming from only one direction.
Yes, he's coming from a different direction than he kind of entered into view, and he is returning from that direction. But he's still pretty far. Who knows how far away he is. You can't see him, and you can barely hear his footsteps, and they are getting slowly louder.
Where's the fountain?
It is through the entrance next to you in this, because like I said, there's 4 ways out of this room, not counting the way you came, and you know that the one in the middle, or one of the ones in the middle, goes to the fountain.
So this way?
Yep.
Okay. Is that where he exited out of?
No. It felt like, so if you imagine, let me do this. There's a way this way, a way this way, a way this way, and a way this way. He came from this direction. There's a direction they came from was over here. He left. He stopped in front of the gate for a little while, and then he went in this direction. This is the direction you know to go in for the bath, and this is another tunnel that leads to a different area of the mine for working.
Okay.
That's it.
Tell where his steps are coming from.
Yeah, they're coming from way far away this way.
All right, so we just need to go this way.
We just need to kind of scoot that way then.
Yeah.
Lead the way, invisible man.
All right. I'll walk, and I'm
Carefully.
paying attention to the tread pattern, given what we had learned previously.
Yeah. Actually, in this room, there are no traps.
Oh, good.
So
He says-
they're only in the antechamber.
Mhm.
All right. So you all follow the invisible Kravish down a long, winding tunnel. It's about maybe 10 feet wide. I'm going to keep y'all's previous stealth rolls. Those are pretty good. As far as tiptoeing your way down, you can hear dripping water start to become deafening as you approach this wide, maybe 50, maybe 60 feet wide pool that you know gets deeper towards the center. A minimum depth of maybe a foot, a maximum depth of about 4 feet. There are stalactites hanging low from the ceiling that drip water all over the pool. And sitting with his back to you all is a very tall, thin Goliath. He is sitting in the water, and it looks like he's sitting underneath sort of a large arrangement of droplets of water as they drip down. It's kind of raining down on top of him.
All right. So we'll make our way down there.
Mm-hmm. Let me just roll for him. Ooh, really good. Okay.
And now I can't cast any spells or anything because I'll break invisibility, but as we all kind of make our way in there, I'll just kind of discreetly say, fancy finding you here.
He instantly turns around and looks at all of you, and he looks around and he's like, which one of you is it? Which one of you is in my head?
The one you can't see.
Where are you when you say this? Because he came out of the pool and is stepping towards you guys.
Well,
you're not. Yeah, you're speaking out loud. Also, you're not in his head anymore.
That's right.
Well,
because I can't.
Well, he can't see who is talking, so you would maybe guess that he thinks it's still in his head.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He can't see Kravish.
Yeah.
So, where are you when you say that?
I'm probably. Well, I can't really visualize the room to tell you.
Yes, you can. Let's go back over here. Real quick. Come on. There we go. No T-Rex. Okay, so we'll say that this worm is gone. This worm is gone. No more T-Rex. Or I'll just make you little tiny T-Rex. You're all down here, entering the space. Right? No more Axton. And Kravish, you're here, and let me grab just a mini from some other guy.
Random dude
5. Not one of the Wranglers. That seems a little inappropriate. No, because I want to use him later. Let's use a cyber psycho from. There we go.
Okay.
He's got his back, or he's looking at all of you, and he's kind of approached your group a little. He's like, "Which one of you is this?" And he's kind of tapping his head.
The one you can't see.
And he looks in Kravish's direction, and he's like, "What is this?" And he's starting to get nervous and backing away.
We just want to know who hired you.
Or hired
To
them.
let you know that you're being set up.
He's just kind of looking your direction. He's like, "Are you a spirit? Did you all bring a ghost?"
I assure you, I am no ghost. In fact, I mean you no harm. As long as
Is that true?
He doesn't know that.
Well, I need to know if you need to roll deception.
No.
Okay.
I honestly like me.
Okay. Well, he's kind of looking at Baranor while answering you. And he's like, is your buddy got some kind of like spatial deficiency or some sort of intraphasic malfunction? Or does he just bend light around him?
He's just a man of many talents.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know the entire hierarchy of the deal around here. I just know that, and he's, by the way, very tall. He's like 7.5 feet tall. He towers over all of you, except maybe Koza. I think he comes right up to Koza's nose. But he's very, very thin, very lanky. He's not a typical Goliath, as you've seen before. Not like you remember Tor of the Breakers. He was just as tall, but 5 times as wide and muscular. This guy's clothes are like hanging off of him.
I'm sending messages, though, while we're doing this. I'm sending messages to Baranor to send to Koza and to Maven to check the perimeter, check that gate to make sure nobody's coming.
Okay.
Got it. I'll relay that.
Do.
Koza the mouse.
Yep. Koza is at the edge of the pool because if he went into it, he would drown.
Yep.
Mice don't like water. Yeah, so what is Koza and Maven doing then in that case?
I will go look to make sure there's nobody coming from the wherever. I'll stand watch.
Okay, you can make a perception check. How about you, Koza?
When I receive the all clear, I will pop out of wild shape form.
Okay, as you do that, he's going to clock you and he's going to look over and say, shape-shifting abilities. Interesting. Didn't think there was any down here that has that.
They didn't take everything from me.
So it's true. You're adventurers.
And we would like to be again at some point.
That would explain why he wanted us to kill you.
Yeah, back to that.
Sorry. Listen, long story short, I'm never intended on killing any of you.
Inside check.
What are you trying to discern?
If he's really meant that he wasn't trying to kill us.
Okay, make an insight check.
All right.
Passive insight's 20.
22.
Got a 22.
I'll say that he definitely seems eager. He almost seems naive and
Eager
innocent.
to kill us?
No.
Okay.
He seemed eager to answer you, but he seems earnest and innocent. He doesn't seem the type that would be able to just jump into a battle.
Yeah.
Even though he's tall, he definitely seems intimidated by all of you.
All right.
Good.
Seems legit. I pass on to everyone.
Okay. So who was it that hired you?
Well, it was one of the guards that, from what I could tell, works very closely with the sheriff. He's one of his favorites, one of his lieutenants. He wants to be a wrangler, but he won't be. He's too stupid, trust me.
Does this guy have a name?
Yes, the guard that hired us, his name is Malukathai.
Malukathai.
And it's very long, so I will put it in the chat. Nope. I don't know why I took all that. I only want the one name. There we go. And he just kind of extends his very long-fingered hand. Looks like a pianist's hand or a guitar player's hand. He goes, sorry, I'm Neoval.
of all, we are the crown collectors.
Yes, I know. You're actually kind of well known around here. Something about jumping into action and closing some portal that they wanted.
And you seem to be incredibly well-read and scholarly from the typical prison ilk. How'd you find your way here?
And how did you hear about us?
Well, first they told us who you were because they wanted us to know who to kill. So there's that. I was a wayward traveler trying to make my way from the south up to Stone Sift Mines, and came across a group of unsavory folks, and they tried to rob me, I guess you could say. So I used what I know of artificing and put together a device real quick that I could defend myself with. They overpowered me, brought me to Cobb, charged me with assault on a peace officer, and stuck me down here.
Sounds like a familiar story.
Yeah, you'll find a lot of people down here were charged with assault on a peace officer. But, in truth, it never sat well with me what they wanted to do to you guys. I've known a few adventurers in my time. I like to go over to the human city of Dane a few months ago. They had the Ellington Classic. I like to watch the gladiatory arena fights. It was always my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Even laughs heartily.
Nervous laughter from all.
Okay.
So you guys seem like a hardy bunch. What brought you down here?
Assaulting a peace officer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot. Several times.
Killed
Is
a
it
few
true what
too,
they
I
said that? Is it true what they say that they've extended our sentences indefinitely?
That is the popular word.
Can I make an insight check
Oh,
on
no.
seeing if he
He
is
knows so
probing?
much.
Are you? What are you trying to do?
See if he's fishing for information or if he's genuinely curious.
Well, I'll say this. He knows who you are. A lot of
Right.
people know who you are. You've been down here a little under a month and a half. You've made quite a reputation for yourself,
Right.
both by
I'm asking.
defending. No. I'm just going through the things that you would guess are common knowledge.
Yes.
Also, you know that Race told you that they are extending sentences, and he said that in front of a whole bunch of people. So it seems like that's like new news, but not like secret news.
We'll just say that is the popular word around town.
You know, I've been down here about 6 months, and the thought of being trapped down here for the rest of my life scares the hell out of me.
Here's the hell out
They
of
say
all of
they say that you're all a threat. That to me sounds like a threat to the sheriff and the authority around here. Is that true? Are you a threat?
We'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
You saw.
You know, I'd like to be.
Would you
I'd like to be too.
Okay.
Okay.
I just don't know anything about the structure around here and as far as who to go to.
That's all right.
Now is he fishing for information?
Yeah, these feel like very
Make-
loaded questions.
Make
Yeah.
an insight check.
Can I make one too? Or give him
Yeah, sure.
advantage?
That you can give him advantage, or you can make one.
Well,
Let's see what you got.
Ooh, I've got a plus. Oh, you got a plus 7. Never mind.
He seems definitely eager to get information out of you, but you sense a honest curiosity, almost a desperation, and a hope for common ground.
Okay.
To the group, I'll be like, He sounds nefarious, but he's really just naive.
But he's gotta double check his wording. Because
Yeah.
I like.
He doesn't know how he doesn't know how he's making this sound.
Right. All right. Cool your jets. We have connections. We'll get your name to the folks. You just keep your head low. Do your job. And somebody will contact you when the time's right.
All right. Sounds good. You know, about 2 or 3 of the guys that were hired like us to take you out, we don't believe any of this nonsense either.
Well, that's good.
Good.
The more the merrier.
All right. We'll be in touch.
We're going to need numbers to make change, so.
Well, I'll talk to my boys and I'll see what I can do.
All right.
As you turn away, you see him start to slip beneath the waves of slip beneath the surface of the pool at the deepest point. And just before he pops underneath, he goes, "Oh, one more thing. Something you should bring with you to your people. We heard a rumor that we're going to be getting a visitor here soon. Real soon. Maybe even next week. The sheriff himself is coming.
Yeah.
Might be a good time to put your plan into action. Just saying." And then he's going to dip beneath the surface of the pool. And that's where we're going to end the session.
All right.
With a little caveat of you guys are standing there and you can tell that he hasn't disappeared. He's still under the surface, maybe waiting a few seconds to see if you'll leave, and then he can kind of nonchalantly get out. And I'll say it's definitely been a while, and you can see bubbles. But we'll deal with that next session.
Dude, you are trying way too hard.
Yeah.
He really needs to work on not sounding suspicious.
He looked very young. He looked like a very young Goliath.
You used my real name? The same initials?
So we're looking at October 5th as our next session. Does anybody have a conflict with that?
No.
I don't think so. No. The drill.
Cool.
That would be good.
5th,
Okay. Right on.
I might miss the one after that, though.
Yeah, and from what I hear, next session, unfortunately, looks like it might be Maven's last.
Maybe.
Or at least
we don't know yet.
We don't know for sure.
He's trying to
There
be
is.
optimistic.
Yes, we can all be very optimistic and plead that the universe does not do us dirty. But
There's gonna be another dragon that fucking takes Maven hostage.
Yeah.
I don't want to get spoilery or meta, but if I want to plan in case this is Steph's last, we can expect a very serious confrontation next session. Some very important, embattlements and developments, and hopefully we're able to squeeze that into our session. And if it is her last, then Steph will have gone out with a bang. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna hop off here, but that was fun. A little bit of espionage, a little sneaking around, and kind of sowing the seeds of dissent. I'm interested to see how this plays out next session. So,
and we didn't have to rely on heavy stealth, so.
Right.
No, not a lot of heavy stuff. Although you guys did have to sneak past a sleepy guard and not be seen by another awake guard. You guys did good. You guys did real good.
That's not.
I was very proud. No, it's
stealth.
not. heavy stealth would have only been worth it if Axton in his clunky armor could have been there. Let's be honest.
Fair.
True.
Fair.
So I think he did great. So,
Yes.
all right, folks, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Okay,
All right, bye.
Bye.